Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Gigaton League Season 2. It's time
Yeah.
for the post draft, but it's still in the middle of transaction period power rankings. This is the teams pretty much as they are, like, out of getting drafted. So, the original teams, a couple people have made changes. Actually, quite a few changes have been made, but we're just going over to the teams and kind of ranking them based on how we feel they stack up to each other. And unlike last season, we do actually have a full 16 teams to go through. And
Hold
so
on to your butts.
we're gonna be going in reverse draft order. So we're gonna be starting with me. I was number 16 seed. Or 16th pick, not 16th seed. And we're gonna go up from there. And for the draft pool, it was basically the opposite of last season. So Gen 1, 3, 5, 9, and we also brought back 6, otherwise there's no fairy. So rather just no fairy types. On my team, I have a Mega Aerodactyl, a Terra Talonflame with Terra types being Grass and Ground, a Terra Primate with Ghost and Fire, Crocodile Arbok, Raging Bolt, little guy here, Terra Seeking with Water and Flying, Slowbro, Aromatisse, and Ferrothorn. So I'm curious to see what everyone's thoughts are on my team.
So this is obviously a very top-heavy team. Just
Yeah.
going off of points, you used a lot of them on some very high power picks in like Mega Arrow, Ferrothorn, Slowbro, and Raging Bolt. I mean, you've got some more like in the middle ones, like Krook's like 13 points, Talonflame's I think 10,
Talonflame is
and then
10,
Aromatisse
Primate
is
was 5,
9.
and the
Yeah, and then
Aromatisse is
Aromatisse is
9.
9. I think Seeking and like Primate and Arbok actually really as lower tier mons. I think they are really nice on this team. Like I think they round out the team like because they're on the team like they are low points, but they provide stuff, and you have some really good terror types as well. Like I think all of these terror types are like these are good to have.
Yeah, I
Uh,
went. I did consider going offensive Terras on Talonflame, but I was already going Terra Fire on
no,
Primate and Terra Flying on
I
Seeking.
think as much as it hurts to say, the king of Gen 6 OU, I think Talonflame has found its niche nowadays as more of a utility Pokemon, so I think those defensive Terras are far better for it.
Yes, and that's why I picked it up. I did not. My team is not hurting for offensive mons, but like a
No,
solid
Talonflame,
supporting mon is kind of what I wanted that to be.
yeah,
So
which Talonflame absolutely does provide. It's got priority default because you are always giving this
it
in
is
shoes.
basically my hazard removal for my team.
That is the downside. It is your hazard removal there, which because you are not bringing defog on Mega Aerodactyl. Let's be very clear.
Watch
If
me.
uh, I think you have some really good like defensive cores. I think you've got a really nice tree, like that trio of support Pokemon with like Talonflame, Slowbro, and Ferrothorn is I think kind of nice. Gives you like some good defensive utility. We've got some really good offensive Pokemon. Mega Aerodactyl is 20 points for a fucking reason. It is a very scary Pokemon and can usually probably run away with games if it gets that Dragon Dance off.
And it
And
is
like if it can hit
the
its attacks,
important to
that
note, it
is.
is the second fastest Pokemon in the format.
Yes. Third. Third fastest.
What else is I know Dio, what else is faster than it?
We'll get to it later on in the doc. But uh it's really fucking good. Uh on that note though, I'm not the biggest fan of the speed tiers on this team. You have some very big jumps and a couple of Pokemon like you have that 95 and 92. I would love something around like the 105 range maybe instead of like either one of those. I think that just look a bit nicer, feel a bit because it feels really easy to have like someone have like a Pokemon that could like outspeed everything but like Mega Aerodactyl and Talonflame.
Yeah. But that is also like
Uh
one of the issues with my team is because so Ferrothorn is the most expensive defensive mon on the board. It is the only like
A
pure
damn good
defensive mon
reason.
that is above $16. And so I drafted that as well as a 20-point and a 19-point offensive mon. So it makes it
With
significantly harder for me to actually like find things that fit the team perfectly.
yeah.
But
In
like
that
in terms
regard,
of
like I
these
think
mons, I do like both of these mons for this team. I think Crocodile is very good.
Mhm. I think having double intimidate's really nice. This team has some really nice, some really good like options for like stealth rocks and spikes. With Ferrothorn being able to run like either. Arbok can run toxic spikes. You have some good pivot options with like Volt Switch, Flip Turn, two U-turners, and teleport. I'm still petitioning. I think Pokemon should give Slowbro a like opposite move of Chili Reception called Rain Check, where it switches out and starts rain.
That'd be great to
Uh,
go with
you've
my Seeking.
Yeah, I think Aromatisse. Unironically, I think Aromatisse is like a very, very, very good value fairy type at 9 points. It's got good stats. It can be like a good like special sync, and it's got cleric potential with Heal Bell or Aromatherapy, your choice, and Wish Passing. Toxic. It's really fucking slow, and that's actually kind of good. Aroma Veil is not a bad ability ever either. I think Aroma Veil does. I forget what
Actually,
if I'm not
It's
mistaken. I think
Aromatisse
nice
is
flinching, right?
returning.
yeah, tonight's taunt and heal block. So I don't know how that works with psychic noise.
I would it'd probably be good to check that, but that is nice if it does block it. But yeah, I did not
Uh,
use Aromatisse a lot last season, so I'm excited to run it back, see how it does. Outside of that, the only mon I've used on this team before is Raging Bolt, which has been a frequent pickup for me in draft actually.
and how many times have you dropped it?
So I've dropped it once, and I picked it
Oh,
up in
right,
the
you
middle of
swapped
the.
it for Zapdos.
Yes, I picked it
Yeah,
up in JDL. I picked it up in the middle of the draft or middle of the
yeah.
season.
Raging Bolt's really not like nice, but like I don't know. Like it's clearly the premier special attacker of the team.
It is kind of the
Uh,
special attacker of the team. My team
yeah, like
basically like only has Raging Bolt for special attack. I'm gonna be honest because I
mhm.
don't know how much
and that
special like investment I'm gonna do on Slowbro or Aromatisse.
I mean, to be fair, they can still like chunk with just like stab with their like with raw is like a raw scald or moonblast from the two of them respectfully will still
Not
do
to mention
damage.
future sights from Slowbro can be
Good point.
deadly at
Yes.
times.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the biggest issue is like I mean you have like some good innate bulk on a bunch of these Pokemon as well. Um, I think you've got some good like backup like potential like sweepers like for all like Crocodile could run like a Moxie like Scarf set one week. And like be kind of threatening if your opponents don't have the most reliable of like ground switch-ins or dark switch-ins for that matter.
I think Primeape is a mon that can definitely like surprise some games.
Absolutely.
I'm
Um,
waiting for the eventual Sea King sweep this season.
let's see if you get bacon, and then we'll see if that can happen.
So I mean, I definitely
Sorry.
don't think I have the best team this season. I think my team
No,
is
I
solid, but like probably there's a ton of just incredible teams.
I
This
think
season.
I think part of the issue as well, like we as I said, it's very the speed tier is a little jank. I think especially defensively, like I think like a nasty plot sweeper could be very threatening for this team. Uh, just because like your highest SpinF is 116 on Ferrothorn,
Yeah, and I do only have one Ghost Resist.
and it's Crocodile. Like I talked about this with another team, where it's like I didn't know how to feel like that because it's like I don't like Crocodile. Like it's nice to have that Ghost Resist, and for like physical Ghost types, it'd be really nice. But like for special Ghost types, like a Gengar, for example, that could be a little frustrating or like a little hard for Crocodile to deal with more. Like a nasty block Gengar set.
Mm-hmm.
I also and also like again, I think that like I'd put this team like high B tier
That's what I was
because I
gonna like. I have not ranked any of the teams, but I was feeling like B tier just off of vibes as the team. I don't think it's the best team I've ever drafted, but I also don't think it's the worst team. I think it's like very middling.
I'm of a similar thought process. While the offensive threats are like you have Mega Arrow, that's gonna scare people no matter what. Um, and you have a great amount of defensive things to support it, but at the same time, I just feel like this team has the um slight flaw with like the speed tiers like brought up that it could be taken advantage of.
And this is also a team where I'm probably just bringing like the same 6 or 7, like 6 out of the same like 7 mons every game, realistically.
Hmm.
But yeah, if someone wants to keep track just in the channel, like give the teams
Um,
grades, I do feel
I'm
pretty good
I'm
like a
making a
B
I'm
plus
making a tier
tier
list right
probably for
now.
now at least. So we can look
Yeah,
slightly
I have
higher,
this in like
but I would say
upper
like
echelon
B
of
plus,
B.
B plus.
Yeah, like I think speed tiers and the hazard. That my biggest issue with the hazard removal, and I said this about another team as well in my review. I think when you only have like that one really reliable one, it basically kind of like shoehorns that Pokemon onto your team for a lot of weeks, or shoehorns you into running a lot of shoes on your team.
Mhm.
And in this case it's Talonflame, which like is a good Pokemon.
I was gonna say
But when you
Talonflame
have
is a
taken
mon.
that
I'm just happy. Like I feel pretty happy to bring Talonflame most games. I think.
Yeah, but it's like, but like my point with it is not like, oh, it's a bad Pokemon. It's a shame that's like your only hazard removal. It's like you're now shoehorned in, and when your opponent is building for you, part of it might be the guessing game of what's coming. And when they already have that, like they have a six of your team pinned down for what's being brought, I think that is a disadvantage for you.
Yeah. Now, granted, my team is actually like not too rock compared to some of the
No, not at
others.
all. And I think Mega
Like
Arrow.
this thing is always wearing boots. So the only
Oh my
way to
god,
actually like
if it's not
stealth
wearing
rock
boots, you've
me
done something wrong.
is basically Mega Arrow, and then I do actually have 3 stealth rock
Yeah.
resistances. So
I do
my
think
team,
with your web or with your team, webs could be an issue versus opponents that do have webs.
yes, I do. I mean, Arrow isn't affected by webs, so that's still out the
No, not at all.
window.
But like neither is
Raging
Talonflame,
Bolt
but then
doesn't
the rest
matter.
of the team.
Raging Bolt just
Yeah,
affects
but like
Thunderclap.
Crocodile. Actually, it's really only Crocodile that'd be affected by it.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just so maybe it's not. It might not be the biggest issue, but it's kind of like, but it's like a spikes versus spikes, for example. That's like something you really don't want to be switching in on.
Yeah, because I mean, I do have Regenerator, but still, I don't want to be taking chip on a lot of my
Yeah.
defensive tools.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I think I
Uh,
have this in like upper B tier. I think this team will scare a lot of people. There's some really strong threats, but I think there is some issues that keep it out of that like top tier.
yeah, I agree 100%. Any other final thoughts before we move on?
I think everything's about been covered in terms of like what I had on my first impressions.
All right, sounds good. Then we'll move into 15th pick, with Cam. Cam has a team, and
If I speak, I will be in big trouble.
Okay, so I'm just gonna lead this a bit. We were bringing up speed tiers with Lex, and I think that when you think about speed tiers, while a lot of these are more around the same range, there's nothing that really like jets out into the higher speed tiers, which
No,
feels like it's going to be taken advantage of here.
I
yeah,
agree.
Like,
Now
so this is
you
the
do have.
slowest, fastest mon on any team, I believe.
I think it is as well.
If there
And
might be a
that
team that has just a 105, I think. Maybe not.
no, I
We'll
think
have to
there's.
check.
I don't think so.
This is either the
Uh,
slowest or the second slowest.
but I think this might be the slowest average as well. I would guess. Actually, it might not
which
be.
means like speed
I mean,
creeping.
this
I on
team has a lot of mons that are
we
like
say that, but it does have a Blaziken.
this
Yeah.
team
So
has a lot.
that's what I was about to say. Like in this team's defense, that speed that could be a little bit like disingenuous because like you do have Blaziken, you have Quiver Dance Butterfree, like
Low
which
kicks just clicks the first
low kicks
communication
is
button.
exactly. Uh,
You have
so the
you
thing
have
about
Terra Dark, Sucker Punch. You have Shadow Sneak.
so
Scorpion gets on Scarf so easily.
my first big issue with this
Plus,
or
there's a prankster to apply Thunder Wave and shit.
what I like about this team is you have a lot of solid ones though. Like
I do
not
think it's a lot of like really great mons.
I agree. I think this team is like it's only 9 mons, but like there's a lot of solid mons, and Butterfree, but I think that's like meant to be the mascot, which, to be fair, I think that's kind of an issue where if it was like a 10-point team, I could let that slide a bit more because it's a 9-mon team. I think only having that like mascot pick as well kind of hurts a little. And did Cam have points left over?
No, Cam had $1 left.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because it's a lot of...
I think the only team that had points left over was ultimately Maggie's, aka mine.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yep.
Team, like,
Everyone
this
else used
team-
all their dollars.
Honestly, like, outside of the Butterfree, there's not a single, like, low tier mon. I think the cheapest mon on the team is Mega Sableye.
But like,
actually
if we
leads to
want
the
to,
issue of your only Terra is Bisharp because of the Terra rules for this season.
yeah. To be fair, I do think Bisharp is a very good Terra.
Oh, absolutely, great Terra.
However, here's where my issue comes with this team. Let's look at that type chart.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just about to bring up the fatal flaw. 3 dark types.
3
dark types,
no
2
dragon,
bug types,
no
2 fighting
fairy,
types,
no grass,
2
no
steel
poison.
types.
Oh no, you don't have a poison. I'm sorry.
No electric type, no normal type, no ice type. This team
granted,
has.
I think you can get away with no ice, no normal, and.
I agree. I can agree. I can agree with those 3, but like I also that water weakness.
Yeah, that. So Cam is. This is the only team I've actually done like a rebuild on, which I want to do like go over. The only mon on this team that I'm really like, I don't like this here, is the Mega Sableye. This is not a Mega
I agree.
Team.
No, you have
2 dark types. You don't need this here.
Yeah, like I'm Mega Sableye. I think is a little bit like not good to begin with.
Also,
that's not good. That of those hazard mons. I think that's the thing. This is a very offensive team as well. There's not a lot of defensive tools. That's like one thing Mega Sableye does provide, which is nice. It can kind of like slow the pace down a little bit.
There is
maybe
Ingus
give
Slash
you
as well, which can be a great defensive
That's true.
mon. You have Milotic, which can be a great defensive mon.
But like a lot of this team kind of
However,
just screams bulky offense, like Nidoking, Bisharp, Aegislash, Melodic even.
Brachion's 91.
There is also the fatal flaw though to bring up with relying on Sableye to slow a game down. That's it's. Oh wait, no. Right, it doesn't get Prankster as a Mega.
No, it's Magic Bounce.
Which does actually help with the hazard problem.
Yeah, it does. Except I don't know. I think in draft it's not as good. Also, the hazard removal options are not good on this team. I think it's 2 defoggers.
It's Blaziken and Butterfree. One of which is a mon you don't want to bring most weeks, I'm gonna be honest, and the other is a mon that really doesn't have the room to run defog and is not a move it's not a mon you want to run defog on anyway.
I agree.
I do like so I want to take a look real quick. This is the rework I did for Cam.
Sorry,
just to double check, is Blaziken SD legal?
No
SD.
But you do have bulk up. You have
up.
Yeah, you have.
Oh yeah. Just wanted to make sure.
So I think like looking if you. So I think the big thing is like having that low kicks, Bisharp, and Mega Sableye hurts. I think this team desperately needs something that can absorb water hits because it's only Melodic.
Yeah.
Which is like Melodic can absorb a lot of hits from water types very well. Special water because a lot of water types are more special attacking in nature. If they're running Scald, that's even better if you run Marvel Scale because now your defense is boosted. Or if it's running Liquidation, now you and you're competitive, and then you can get that competitive boost, and that's also really fucking scary.
I like
Melodic has good recovery. I think Melodic's really good.
Fairly good pivot options.
I think. Yes, and not really. No.
Okay. Yeah, it's mostly it's actually kind of low kick.
Just those 3. Yeah, it's Melodic, Blaziken, and low kick.
Yeah, there's no moves between them, but. You do have a lot of healing.
Yeah. Well, none of it's no like Heal Bell. I think is and Wish passing kind of is not as good. And again, I think that's like all on like 3 Pokemon actually.
Yeah.
Also, again, a third of this team is weak to water. 5 of the 9 Pokemon on here, by the way, are weak to ground. Can we just? We haven't actually addressed that.
Not as bad as Frost's team last season, however.
No, yeah, because you have Butterfree and Low Kicks, but those are your ground checks. That's not good.
They are not real ground checks.
They are not. Low Kicks doesn't take damage; it deals damage. You do not want it to be your ground switching.
Yeah.
Over half this team is weak to ground. We have 3 fairy weaknesses.
4 fire weaknesses.
4 fire weaknesses. There's so many shared weaknesses, and it comes from so many continuously repeated types. And I think it's really it's a problem for this team.
Yeah.
Shall we discuss your rework?
I still do think this team is better than like 3 of the teams from last season, though. Like, I do think this is going to be the weaker teams. I think this team is probably better than Cam's team from last season, and certainly better than.
Yeah, I'll actually agree that because like Cam's original team, when you compare it to this, I feel like this immediately looks like it could take a game just off the pure hyper offense.
This team at least goes above 95 speed.
Yes, this is a team that can win games.
So let's look at this
I do not
rework.
think this is a D tier team because this is a team that can still win games.
I disagree. I think this is a D tier.
I don't think there is a D tier team. I think every team in this.
I think there's 2, or I think there's 3, and this is one of them.
But this team can still win a game. Like
that doesn't. D tier teams last season won games. Like
I think our criteria last season was the D tier teams were the teams where we looked at and was like, we just didn't see how those teams could win a game. I can see how this team could win a game.
I mean, I can see how this team can win games, but I can see a lot of ways where this team loses games as well. Very, very. It'd be very easy to outspeed this entire team. It'd be hard for Blaziken to get like those speed boosts. There's so many shared weaknesses, and you don't have reliable checks for a lot of types. I think this team.
Thing, though, I feel like this is a very feast or famine.
Also,
situation.
There is virtually no hazard removal. Not really left centers. Not a lot of pivot options. I think this team has a lot of issues.
Oh, it certainly does have issues, but I still think I think it is bottom of C tier. Personally.
I personally disagree, but let's
and it's straight up just because I think this team could absolutely win a surprise game or 2 if someone doesn't prep enough for it. But I do want to talk at the rework I had. I made this still while the draft was going on, but I believe all of these Pokemon are still available now, especially because one is back on the market.
I can confirm or confirm.
So this is what I was looking at.
I think they all are, yeah. So you keep Low Kicks, you keep Nidoking, you keep Melodic and Blaziken, Aegislash, which I think are like some of the better mods on this team for sure. I think having those you get Thunderous T, Whimsicott. So you're adding Thunderous T, Whimsicott, Tatsugiri, X-Cloud, and Lairon.
Yeah, Lairon is just there because you had an extra $1, and it was I think it helped with some of the. It just gave you something makes the matchup look better for fairies and ice types and flying types.
So first up, you get a real ground resist, or 2 ground resist, or like a real ground immunity in Thunderous, as in a Pokemon that can that you're actually going to be willing to bring and use ground types. Also, Thunderous and Melodic paired really well together.
Yes, because you have Volt Absorb, and then this is also resistant to grass, so that is great. This thing's weak to ice. Melodic ice moves.
Oh my god. Yep. You add Tatsugiri into that quad, and you have a surprisingly nice weakness protection squad.
Yeah. No, yeah, I think you've got some really good
gives you priority defog and more just stuff to annoy the enemies. X-Cloud, I think, is a really funny Terra Captain because you just go Terra Normal Boom Burst into things, and it gives you a serious special threat alongside the Thunderous.
I think Tatsugiri's spin is also just really nice.
Yeah, so if you look at the spin now, you have Thunderous T defog, Whimsicott defog, Tatsugiri defog. Significantly
Got a
more
bunch of
like
you.
pivot.
Mm-hmm. You lose some hazards, but like the hazard setters you have, like I feel like Nidoking was probably the only Nidoking and maybe Bishop were like the mons on the previous team that like you felt comfortable running hazards on sometimes.
And I did like Bisharp on the other
I won't
team.
lie
I
with
did, but
with
you kind of needed the money. Like I felt like it was better to drop that
Mhm.
mon rather than drop your other dark and other steel.
I agree. I think Aegislash especially is just. I think Aegislash is really nice for this team as
Also,
defensive
if you
and
wanted,
offensive.
guess what? You could just if you didn't want Layeron, your matchup chart looks a little bit worse, but you were probably never bringing Layeron anyway, and you can add your Butterfree back.
Yeah. I think this team's a lot better. These are some changes I think should be done. I think they'd help a lot.
And this makes it a much more balanced team, as you have like a real kind of defensive, like not defensive core, but good support core with Whimsicott plus Thundurus plus Tatsu plus Milo, while also still having some damage with low kicks, Sheer Force, Nidoking, Thunderous Therian just gets to click moves and deal damage to stuff. You still have the Blaziken, Terra X Cloud, just blows stuff up. These are, yeah, I like these changes. Obviously, I mean, I'm the one who made them for this team, but I would like to see these. I think this.
I think they do help. I think the team is a little bit more like specially inclined, like offensively. It really becomes like low kicks, Blaziken. I guess sometimes Aegislash are like
Aegis
full
Slash as
option.
well can.
Like because like Thundurus, Nidoking, Tatsu, Melodic, they're all like special attackers.
Nido can go physical though. Technically, it does have.
You're not running it. But you're not running it.
Yeah.
Because Life Orb Sheer Force. No more words.
But also, low kicks and Blaziken by itself is pretty good for your physical side.
Yeah, no, like you still have good physical attacks. It's just you're a lot more specially inclined, is what I was saying.
Yes,
You've
I would
got
like
some
to
more defensive
at least
tools.
have this be a consideration. I don't know what you do for. I mean, obviously, I think Xpod you just do what like normal and fighting.
Normal fairy, even.
Normal fairy.
Normal ghost.
Honestly, normal ghost just to protect it from like fighting types, I guess.
Yeah, I was just thinking fighting because that gives you
I think
a way
it
to
gets
hit
Shadow
steel
Ball.
types, which are the only it hits fighting and steals, which are now the only things that resist boom burst.
You mean rocket steals?
Oh yeah, rocket steals. Although I don't think this thing gets Terra Blast, but it gets like Focus Blast. I'm pretty sure or something. I don't know. It gets coverage. And then Terra Whimsicott, you make it a ghost and it's evil.
It gets Focus Blast, yeah. I think
We can go back.
I
To
think
the original.
I still think this original team is the weakest in the draft. I do
think it's that like of the teams like I've really dived into, I think this is the team with the most like apparent obvious flaws just from the type chart alone. But I do think it does speak to the like I do think overall the teams are so much better than last season.
Yeah.
Just like power level, but also how they were drafted. But I do think this is one of the weakest
Yeah.
seasons still.
I cannot put a team with 5 ground weaknesses above D tier. I'm sorry. I can't. Like
Yeah.
You're saying it's better than Frosty, but like is it really? Because again, your resists are low kicks and Butterfree. They're not real Pokemon.
You do have you
they're not
at
real
least have
resist.
a Pokemon. Like it's not a real resist, but it's still more than what Frost had.
It's Butterfree.
Yes, that I can give it like D plus if we want to keep it down there, but I don't think it's as bad as some of the teams.
I think I gotta agree on the ground type issue. I don't think it's as bad as Frost ground type issue from last season, but like I can't see this in C. It feels way too exploitable.
Okay.
Between the ground type issue, the fairy type issue, the water type issue, I think there's too many Oh, the fire type issue. There's so many exploitable weaknesses on this team, and that's my concern.
Yeah.
Also,
Okay.
like, the water type weakness issue is, like, a big one in my eyes, is when your 2 main offensive threats are, like, prone to water.
Mm-hmm. That's fair. So, anything else we want to say on Cam's team before we move on?
No, I think that's about it.
I was gonna say, we had a lot
Can't
of
make
info
those
on this team.
changes. A lot of them weren't nice things. I'm sorry.
Like I said, I don't
Th-
hate this team. I do think it's a team that can be exploitable, but I also I do think there's a lot of
There's,
here.
as I said, there's a lot. There are some very good mons on here. It's just, I don't think that a lot of them work together.
Yeah, I can agree with that. Also, I think it might be the lowest average base stat total.
It absolutely probably is. Just because of Butterfree.
Mine's 502.
Sure.
And a lot of these teams are pretty high up there. So like we go to, for instance, Jack's team has a base of 527.
You know, all right. I'm gonna just get this out of the way. I'm gonna start this very quick. Hey, Jack, that's a really good like offensive duo of that I see up there of Meowscarada and Latios. Those ones seem like they work really well together. You know?
Someone in this call, I won't say who, is a little salty at this team.
No, I'm not. Okay, a tiny bit, but like, I'll get over it. I'll get over it. One
of the weirdest teams speed wise, because it is really fast,
Oh
but
my-
also everything is like
Wait.
kind of there.
I did not notice that. Yeah.
This team is fast as fuck.
So let's talk about this team. This is a very offensive team. You've got a lot of like really strong offensive heavy hitters. Meowscarada, Zipstrike is a really good like pivot mon. Like Meowscarada's Latios, I think is an incredible the offensive duo where Meowscarada is a really good pivoting physical attacker. Latios is a really good pivoting potential special attacker. Whoever like anyone who thought of like using those together, they've got to be like really hot.
Tentacle,
I think you've also.
I think it's one of the best like roll compression mons in this format.
I agree. Special tank denies like leech seeders and like stalling in like grass type stallers, rapid spin, flip turn, T spikes, grounded poison, knockoff.
On a team this offensive, it's a mon that can really easily come every week and do something different.
Let's also talk about I think Darkspawn, incredible budget fairy. I love Darkspawn.
Yes.
Gudra.
So Jack picked his 2 picks before me, and I was going to draft it that round because I wanted it with
That's a good fucking dog. It's a really good, I think, underrated special like physical wall with that 115 defense. Also, it kind of covers Meowscarada's ass a little bit. Somewhat. It covers it from those fire and fighting type attacks that like scare Meowscarada.
You do have double psychic type. You do have double special psychic types, but also like this one is a bit bulkier and it's also an Iron Crown.
Yeah, Iron Crown I think is really nice on the team. I think Iron Crown is
boosterless Iron Crown, but that's fine. It can still run weakness policy. It can still.
I was about to say, one of Iron Crown's favorite moves is like agility weakness policy. So I don't think it feels like it's losing a lot without that booster. Like it's losing something. It is.
Yeah, Lando is
let's
lovely here. Gives you intimidate, keeps you guys like more alive. Clicks stealth rock, U-turn, pivots, clicks earthquake.
I think
crazy.
I like Zangoose. No, I think these are really good Terras. I like Zangoose a lot. I mean, Terra normal, Swords Dance, Quick Attack. I don't have to say anything else. That is scary. Those are excellent Terra types for Gudra as well. Cover some of your main weaknesses, being Fairy types with Terra Poison, Ice types with Water. Also, Stab Saber Gudra, Terra Water, 1 weakness, Electric types only.
Yeah, and you also have Lando.
Yeah, that's a really good duo. That's a really good defensive duo.
You have a Girder,
I think Girder runs this team out very nicely.
Yeah,
this team has some. I'm gonna be honest. This is an S tier team.
I love it.
I think. So there's a big ice weakness.
The only thing that really concerns me is this ice weakness. A lot of your main share it.
Yeah. Actually, I was about to say that's like the only thing I can see because like so you do have the Terra Water on Gudra, but like it's like Tentacruel and Crown. Uh, which
Okay,
like
And Tentacruel eats like
a
most
lot of ice
ice.
types are willing to run freeze drive though.
But it's
that's
still
that's an
120
actually
space special defense.
no. I agree. Like I think you have a lot of good like ice type switch-ins,
Also,
but
Tentacruel,
like
like if you really needed to, it can run AV. It can fit 4 attack times.
no, it can
True.
rapid spin, flip turn, knock off, scald, or even like poison jab or something just to like fish for status. Uh, yeah, no, it can absolutely do that. I think you've got some really good hazard setters, some reliable removal as well.
But
Like,
your main 3 pivot core are all ice weak. Meow, Latios,
mhm.
Ladio or Landorus. I already said Latios. Those 3 are like your big 3 scary guys, and they're all weak to ice. And that really
That being said, you've got really good pivots. Latios has flip turn, Tentacles got flip turn, Lando, Meowscarada U-turn. Crown and
Yeah,
Zenstrike
your
are both
pivoting's
switchers. No,
insane.
and that's really good in draft. There's a little bit of a lack of like cleric potential, which could be
I mean,
not the
Doxbot is a pretty
suboptimal.
damn good wish pad, like wish.
Oh,
Faster.
it's a decent wish faster. It doesn't have the highest health, which kind of hurts it a little bit, but and I think the lack of a heal bell or like aromatherapy option is I like that, but like those are like that feels that feels a little bit nitpicky. You've got, also you do have a little bit of a fairy weakness, and you are missing a.
I think what this team really would like is a chance to fit in a fire type, but I don't know how it can.
Yeah, I agree. I think you'd have to
Yeah,
like
I don't
swap
think there's
out like
anything you can sub out.
it's like
Like Gerda's like the only thing I could think of,
And
and even then, what
there is no
you
fire
only
type.
can grab like a heat more then.
how many points is Girder?
I believe
Girder
2.
is 3. Girder is 3. So you could
Okay.
grab Rapidash, but like
Look, all I'm
I
saying is you can grab a Simisear.
you can grab Sim. You were telling me about this earlier. Yeah.
I have now become like the number 1 like Sinister like hype woman. I
I
think that
think you could
Arcanine
grab.
looks really fucking fun to use.
I
And
think
I'm
you
gonna
could
make
also
fun of
grab.
it.
You could grab Lampet, and that'd give you a Ghost type as well.
Yeah, but Lampet's not real. I'm sorry. I've looked at
Yeah.
that one. It's horrible.
You could grab Rapidash, but I do think the speed could be an issue on the team where it's just like you do have so many Pokemon in that like 90s speed tier. This is a really fast team.
So here's the thing: you have
Probably the
an
fastest
80,
on
and then a
average.
90, and a 95, and a 100, and 110, and 116, and 123.
Yeah.
Like it, you do have like obviously the 90, 91, 95, and 98, but you still like
Now, to be
have a
fair,
really nice like speed staircase.
yeah, it's just it's all very clumped together. Where it's like I feel like it could be possible for like an opponent to be like, okay, uh, I don't need to really like Latios doesn't threaten my like main threat, so I can like or like Latios is a like to Meowscarada, they don't really threaten it, so I can run like just above Tentacruel, and now you're outspeeding so many Pokemon.
Yeah, that's fair. But also like
I mean, to be fair, that'd be the case regardless. But it's
it'd be
like
the case regardless. But now you're
just
more
I don't like
incentivized
how
to
it.
do.
Yeah, I don't like how it looks. I
I do
guess
love
it's
this team
just
still. I think this team is
like I
awesome.
mean, now to be fair, like I don't think all those Pokemon will be running max speed every week. Like I don't think Tentacruel will. Like Tentacruel probably wants some HP and maybe some spit effort defense investment. Same with Darkspawn,
Darkspawn is
Lando
never
as
gonna run
well.
speed.
Maybe
Darkspawn wants to be actually like
Gudra's.
slower.
Yeah, Crown absolutely will. Actually, maybe not depending on like the set. Like if it's an agility set, it might not be running as much speed. It might want like if it's like agility weakness policy, it might want actually more bulk. If you can be like, okay, I'll outspeed everything after an agility, and then like yeah, you want like that like agility weakness policy like sword power tachyon cutter
Yeah.
set, which is like really fucking good.
But really,
Yeah.
like I think this team is just it interlocks so well that I think
Mm-hmm.
any change you would make this team worse.
S tier.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think
The
from a
ice
prep
weakness
perspective,
does
like
worry me, but I think it could still be like S minus.
Mm-hmm. So
I
like
love
lower
this
end of
team.
S tier. I can agree with that.
Like this
I
is
think
A
it just
plus
has
to
to
S
be up there,
minus.
yeah.
I love like this team looks so fun.
Yeah, I agree. Shall we move on then?
Yeah, a bit shorter, but I think you want it to be shorter because that just means like your team just kind of rocks. Like, is there anything? Oh my!
Knockoff's a good move.
You don't get items against Jack's team.
Yeah.
So yeah, we can move on to Nate's team. I do have some things I want to talk about.
Zaya.
So do I. So shall we run through the mons?
Yeah, so on this team we have Iron Bundle, Mega Manectric, Ogrepon, Green Form, Haxorus, Terra Arcanine, Braviary, Orthworm, Scrafty, Wigglytuff, Terra Musharna, and Clodsire, my beloved. So obviously, I think Arcanine, great Terra Captain. Picked up Terra Grass, Terra Normal.
I agree. I like this.
I don't know.
I like that.
Grass gives it defensive, Normal gives it Terra Normal E speed. Wow. So, just off the bat, my
Hang on. Can you actually just go to the move section real quick? That's all. You can go back now.
So, obviously, that is one of the big issues. Is the lack of a defogger outside of Braviary, which is a mon that really would kind of like to run an item that boosts its attack, like a life orb.
Yeah.
And doesn't want
So
to
this,
defog.
I think, that's one of the very big issues of this team. I think. So let's start off with what I think I really like about this team. You have some really good offensive mons. Haxorus Ogrepon is a really good, like, physically offensive duo. There's also Terra Arcanine, which is like kind of scary. Like Terra Banded, like Terra Normal E Speed could be scary. Like could really hit teams hard.
Like actually kind of sleeper too. I'm pretty sure this thing gets stored power.
It does, but so I like the Terra Fairy. I don't like the Terra Electric though. I don't understand the thought process behind that.
But it is. I think it does. But also, you have a Mega Man.
It's like, it's just like I'm not too sold on that. I would like so. What Musharna's biggest issue is that it's a very bulky mon, but its defensive typing is awful.
Yeah,
it is. So Psychic is not a good defensive typing. Fairy, excellent. I would love maybe like something like a like Terra Steel then, or like Terra Ground or Terra Water even. Something that like
I would like
is
Terra
just
Water because you don't really have a true defensive water.
You don't have a defensive water. You have Iron Bundle, which so I like. I also on the like special side for offensive, you have Bundle and Manectric are like your main ones. And what I don't like is just how close their like speed tiers are together.
I was gonna say that is like the thing that gives that the move is your top two like speed mons are mons that are basically gonna be doing the same thing.
I think you've got some really good hazard setters on this team, which can't be understated.
Yeah, Clodsire loves to click hazards. Ogrepon easily
has spikes. Yeah, like
Wigglytuff doesn't have 4 moves. Okay, Wigglytuff does have moves, but it's happy to click Stealth Rock.
Yeah,
happy to click Stealth Rock. This team is really good at setting hazards. Not good at getting
yeah.
out of them.
No, and that's the issue. Is like you have really good hazard setters, so I love a rapid spinner, so you're not stuck removing all of your own hazards when you click that defog button.
Yeah,
that would really suck.
I do love the cleric potential here.
What?
Oh yeah, no, you have a lot of.
Ooh, okay.
What spinners are left? There's few, I think.
There's an Avalugg.
There's an Avalugg. You could get so you get like Terra Avalugg in place of something. I'm sure you can find room. How many places?
That's still on the board as of right now.
How many places are Arcanine? Claydol. Yeah, these are all excellent Pokemon. I think if you get Claydol though, you have to get rid of Musharna.
Yeah.
We're just looking at just the cheap ones even. There's absolutely some more expensive ones, such as. Give me a second to look. Actually,
are there?
Actually, there's not really.
I think they're all.
Yeah, there's not. Cloyster, which you're not really running Rapid Spin on. Torkoal. No, you're picking that for Sun, which doesn't really match with this team at all. Yeah, no. So it's really just like those low ones. But, like those are good low ones. They're like reliable. Yeah. Avalugg, especially. Avalugg's kind of like I really like Avalugg as a spinner because it's kind of like a guaranteed spin if you run sturdy boots.
But you do have I honestly,
I think Bundle doesn't fit on this team. If I'm being honest,
I just don't like Bundle. But also,
I think Bundle with no booster energy.
Now, what is? I want to just take a look at something real quick. And I'm looking a little bit cheaper.
I think also with how many houses this team likes, I think the lack of a ghost type is a little bit like not nice.
Yeah, like there is a
You can even run like
on the board.
oh, that's
I do like the idea of a Keldeo switch here because like
that also frees you up some points for like Avalug or something over.
Yeah, it's a bit cheaper.
Honestly, how many points is Braviary?
Braviary is $6.
You could. I would honestly like maybe even like swap out like oh no, because if you get rid of Braviary for Avalug, you lose your flying ground immunity. Actually wait, no, you have Orthworm. Never mind.
with that in mind, honestly, Braviary for Claydol does not sound terrible.
Oh, actually not at all. Yeah.
But then
Actually, I
you
like
have
that a lot.
a psychic in another ground. A second.
Yeah.
Yeah, you would very likely get rid of the Mushana if you did that.
Yeah. The only other thing is like if you did want to keep Bundle as an offensive water, you could maybe swap Arcanine from Terra Grass to Terra Water.
Yeah. Or like you said, Musharna. Make Musharna Terra Water instead of Electric. Water.
Yeah. No. Yeah. I think having a bulky water would really help this team. Musharna especially really does benefit from it. I think if this team had like some better paras, had fixed that like some of the speed tiers, because there's like that speed tiers of those top tier ones, and maybe had better hazard removal, I think this would be like a top tier team.
Granted, there's like basically there's nothing left in this speed range.
No, not that. I mean, I specifically mean the bundle Manectric issue, where they're like right next to each other.
Even though I think would make it 110, 108.
I still think that's better than 136, 135 because that speed that speed drop that Keldu's having is being invested elsewhere.
Yeah.
And honestly, I don't think you need two mons that are basically sharing the same speed tier. Like, Bundle only has one over Manectric.
It feels a little better with the 110, 108.
With like
exactly.
Because of Intimidate or
actually that might be my
also a double Intimidator is really
nice.
nice.
With the bundle is like Bundle and Manectric both feel like they do the same thing here.
I also
they do the same thing with different types. I don't know. I think Bundle without booster is just not good, objectively.
I'm a certified bundle hater. That's why like I would like to see it go for like Keldeo.
Yeah, I think that would really help.
And then you get.
I'm gonna be honest.
You could drop like.
I think
something else.
I feel like in this current state of this team, I have it in D tier. And it's
no.
I
could not see this in D tier. This is B at worst.
B, interesting.
I was gonna say.
I think
like this is one of the weaker teams, but I don't think it's like that low at all. Like I think this team, like truthfully, like
I had this top of my D tier. I could be in like C-ish, the C-ish range.
Like I understand the hazard issue, but I also just think like I think C does feel correct here. Yeah.
I think like
yeah, because like I feel like the hazard removal issue, that speed issue, it doesn't feel nice. I think also there's a Pokemon on this team we've not really talked about being here, and it's actually not 2 Intimidators, it's 3, and that's Scrafty.
Oh, true.
I'm just not quite sure what Scrafty provides to this team.
It's bulky and hits moves, I guess. It's a dark type.
It's 7 points, and I feel like there is a better.
Okay, if you hang on, I'm gonna do a little thing here.
I think there is a.
Pick up Keldeo, and then we drop Scrafty. That gives us what, $6 or hang on.
So Keldeo would give us. How many? So Keldeo would give us 2 more. Keldeo is 17, so we get 2 more.
Base
Ogerpon is 15. I think.
Arc is 12.
16. Sorry, Base Ogerpon is 16. Clodsire is 14. Mega Manectric is 9. Orthworm is 8. Braviary is 6.
Wigglytuff 4. Haxorus 13.
We put 5 for Wigglytuff, by the way.
Oh, yes.
And then Musharna is 2.
That gives you $9 to work with.
That's... Yeah.
Although, honestly, I don't know if you want a $9. There's nothing I can
with that in
say.
mind, I think
So you could grab
think-
a 6 and a 3.
honestly,
Honestly-
you grab Claydol, swap Musharna, and
Hang
then
on.
get something extra just to help on type.
I was gonna say Avalugg at that point.
Because I think
You have the
Claydol
dollars.
plays Inly better.
Yeah, so I don't like... So here's my issue with Avalugg. Avalugg can't Terra.
It can.
You'd have to get rid of Arcanine's Terra.
Oh, Avalugg is 5. Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to use Claydol 6.
Mm-hmm. But like, I feel like Claydol is a bit more fine without Terra.
Yeah.
And that
so
gives
what would
you...
we want a Terra? Let's look at this.
You'd have to be like a 4-point mon.
We are...
Oh, now we've got like a massive ice weakness, though. 5 Pokemon weak to ice.
Avalugg resists ice really good.
Yeah.
It might be a weird one to bring up, but I don't know the stats on it off the top of my head. But what about Relicanth as like a low spending Terra option?
Oh.
I
I don't dislike Choice Band Head Smash.
It does get that.
And I mean, that's just gonna threaten any
4
ice
points.
type.
What you can do. And that actually does help your ice weakness.
Oh. You can give it like...
And it is another very defensive water type.
Yeah. I think there are changes that can move the team, but I think it is like higher C tier. I can agree with that for now.
Yeah, I don't know if
we'll see.
Like the best changes you can make, but they are changes you can make.
We'll see where we want to put it, like as we like rank other teams. Shall we move on?
Yeah, but right now, like I think like mid to high C is pretty good for that. Going on to Will. Will has drafted a team full of real scary guys.
If you want to say what the mons are, I'll be right back. I gotta use the bathroom.
Yep, so Will has the fastest Pokemon in the format with Deoxys Speed, as well as Greninja, Thundurus, Volcarona, Gigaton, Bramblegast, Great Tusk, Swalot, and Shelgon. Is this actually the fastest team? It is, but part of that is because of the DO speed.
Yeah, which is like, it's gonna come out, click a move, and then probably have to pivot out because it's lost its other stats.
This is a team with like a good spread for its speed tiers. Because 111 is really awkward
like
to try and outspeed because there's so many things in like that 110 range.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, you might be able to outspeed Volcarona before it clicks Quiver Dance.
Plus, Thundurus being like Prankster means like it's always gonna be threatening T-Wave on anything that is faster than.
Okay, are we talking about the good on this team?
Yes, we are. We're talking about how like these are like actually like well.
Zoom.
These are also well thought.
Hey, it's faster than Jack's team.
It is. Well thought out speed tiers because 111 is such an awesome one to get over.
Yeah.
And also like Volcarona is 100 until it clicks.
And it clicks Quiver Dance.
And it clicks Quiver Dance. Gigaton.
Yeah.
Sometimes doesn't invest all the way in its speed. It likes being bulky. Bramblegast, gets both Windrider and Rapid Spin.
Ultrader.
GT gets Rapid Spin.
Rapid Spin.
This team is.
And then there's Swallowed and Shelgon.
This team is so fast.
So this is faster on average than Jack's.
Yes, it is. And this team has like every single mon on this team can either boost. Oh, and Battle Bond Greninja.
Oh yeah.
Now, so much.
The speed is definitely a little bit. I mean, it's very good. It's a 9-point team, or a 9-mon team. I keep saying 9-point when I see 9-mon. Oopsies. It's very good. You have a lot of I think carry threats on this team that are really nice. It's really strong offensively offensively with utility. You've got some really hard, like, just raw harding threats. You've got Protein Greninja, Quiverance Volcarona, you've got Melvin, you've got Deoxyspeed, which I want to talk about Deoxyspeed real quick. I think Deoxyspeed is a really good, like, anti-lead team. Or dedicated lead. Either way. So it can either be, like, your hazard setter or your hazard denier.
Yeah,
because
spikes,
it gets spikes, it gets rocks, or not only does it get taunt, it gets taunt and it gets nasty plot.
And knockoff.
But like, so
And
it's like, oh,
it
here's
also
my
has
hazard
the
setter.
stats where like it can lead and just outright threaten something off the bat.
Exactly. So like what I'm saying is like you can click the taunt button, so you can run like Sash and click the taunt button, you can click the nasty plot button.
Yeah.
Something's dying. And then you click the Psycho Boost or even the Psychic button at that point.
Yeah.
And it could like it's doing big damage.
And then of course it's like one of the best removal teams out there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's mainly it's
I mean Thunderous can click defog so easily, but you also have like
the Volcarona one's not real, but GT is a good rapid spinner. I love a ghost type that can spin.
Yeah, Bramble is a great spinner.
Mm-hmm. I love Bramble.
Momentum, I don't think Dio Speed is ever clicking a minus priority teleport.
God no, but Greninja and Thunderous are absolutely clicking the U-turn and Volt Switch buttons. I don't know about Volcarona as much.
This thing genuinely could if it clicks like teleport, or if it clicks on something on a lead, expecting a switch, then you switch after the opponent.
I think where this team starts to have issues is when you look defensively, where it's not as good at it's good at doing a lot of damage. Taking a lot of damage, it's going to struggle in the long run because it doesn't have a lot of recovery tools.
I mean, Shogun is a wish passer.
Shogun is a wish passer with base 65 speed. Or base 65 HP, sorry.
Yeah. But it does have 100 defense with UV Light.
Yeah.
Terra Poison, Terra Dart.
That's true. Speaking of, I think these Terra types are really good. I think it's really good use of like your lower tier mons. Honestly, Terra Steel Gigaton hammers sound pretty fucking good in my opinion.
Yeah, or you just go Terra Flying so you don't have to run a balloon every time.
I think the issue, another issue I have with this, I think this team's offensively is definitely a lot more like specially focused, which is fine. Like, I would not call Great Tusk a physical like sweeper by any means. It should not be aimed to be. You can run physical Greninja stats. You can run physical Deoxys Speed stats, and I think that's a really good benefit for this team. Is like you can swap it up. You can maybe
has 115 attack.
Yeah, but you're probably not going to be doing that. And that might be like the downside of this team. I also think there is a lot of shared weaknesses. You have 2 ghost types, and your only dark resist is Greninja. You have 3 flying weak Pokemon. You have 4 ground weak Pokemon, and this is only a 9-mon team. You also have your only ground immunity is Terra Flying team. You have those. Also, you have 3 fairy weak Pokemon. You do have 3 fairy resists, but like again, that's a third of the team is weak to 1 type.
Well, also if you think about Shogun is like always going to be clicking a Terra. Like if it's coming.
It is.
Like the nice thing with this team is like Gigaton doesn't always need to Terra. Swallow doesn't always need to.
But
if you bring
a Shogun's Terra, if your Shogun's clicking Terra Poison, that also further increases that ground weakness.
Yes,
on the team.
Terra Dark and like it helps.
That's true. And that would neutralize the fairy weakness. That would not increase the fairy weakness. But like, yeah, I think this seems really scary. I also feel like I feel like maybe Greninja and Volcarona kind of might fill, specifically Battle Bond Greninja and Volcarona. I feel like they kind of fill that like special super niche.
Yeah, but that you can also just run Protean like instead.
Yeah, it does. It does. Yeah.
You have Volcarona that can do that.
Yeah, you're not, but like.
Additionally, it also opens up Greninja to being a dedicated spike setter too.
Yeah. I feel like that might, like, with how few mons this team does have, that could be like that. It might, like, I don't know, like, might kind of hurt the team a little bit.
Yeah,
when it's like you have 2 Pokemon.
But this is a team of like, there's not really like even like the quote unquote like low tier like filler mons. I think are mons that will absolutely come and have niches.
Yeah. So I have this like middle of A tier.
I agree with A tier. This team's incredibly versatile with what its mons can do, to the point where I don't think you can ever go into a matchup with this team fully be able to expect what
Yeah.
each mon is going to do.
No, I agree. This team is very versatile, and I think that is again a big thing, a big strength of this team. However, I feel like in that same regard, a lot of that versatility. So it's not like interchangeable. So it's like you're probably not going to be running like hazards or like utility Deoxyspeed and utility Greninja. And I feel like, I mean, depending on the matchup, it might be easier to predict which one it'll be. We'll see which one. We'll see. But like, I think it might be possible like this team's versatility could in some ways or like hurt it a little bit. Also, this team has really good hazard setting. I think we talked about that.
Yeah. I don't know. I think this.
Yeah.
What do we put Jack at? Is Jack an S?
Jack is an S.
Jackson S.
I think this is below Jack's team.
Is like. I don't know. I like this team. Like when I was like looking at.
I like this team a lot.
This is the first team I thought of when we were looking at like great teams. Like I think this team could be S too. I think probably weaker than Jack, but I think this team is still like really good. Like I think
So maybe like low S.
Yeah, like
I can agree with that. I think this
I can
is
agree with
S
that,
in
yeah.
the vein that like, so long
I
as
think
nothing
this
goes
team
wrong, I
is
think this
so
this team
versatile, where
clears
you,
out
like,
most.
if you just prep well with this team, I think you can win so many games because like it can do so many different things. Like it looks all offensive, but all of these defensive mons can do like 4 different things every game. Moving on, and I don't think there's anything I would like drop. I think this team like works well. Moving on to Parker's team. Parker has made some changes. I haven't really looked at the team fully since the changes were made.
Oh, that is the other thing that's faster than Mega Arrow.
Yeah.
Yes, there is a Ninjask, as well as a Scolipede, a Victory,
Bacon is
a
pumping his hand in the
Zapdos,
air.
Hitmonlee, Terramabostiff with Water and Fairy, Godengo, Mega Altaria, Stoutland, and Swampert with Terra Fairy as well, and Terra Dragon.
So off the bat, this is a really like physically offensive team, which is really nice.
Yeah,
Uh,
you also do have a Goldengo, Mega Altaria.
As I say, you have
Gold.
Goldango, you have Zapdos, Victini can go be hybrid, and then Mega Altaria can go either way, which I think puts this team in a really unique spot where like like Will's team, it has a lot of like versatile mons. I mean, Zapdos, it can be either like a fast special mon or it can be like this like bulky like pivot in utility mon, and it's really good at that with
So-
Defog, Volt Switch, and Roost.
I don't like the fact that your offensive mons aren't fast. Because, like, I mean, you have a
Mhm.
Ninjask, but it's a Ninjask.
Yeah.
You have Scolipede, which is, I mean, it can't baton pass. So it
Cannot.
can kind of, like, basically just set hazards.
And it can Sword Dance, like, but that doesn't feel as good.
So, like, your real offense,
so-
like, starts at 100. So, like, I think a lot of
Mhm.
teams are going to be able to run Adamant or Modest and just outspeed this team's threats. Or you just have to run Scarfakini every game. And then
Yeah, and I think
One
can't
thing
reach
I
it in
wanted
and out
to
because it won't have boots because it has to be scarfed every game.
Yeah, I wanted to bring up something with this team in terms of like a potential switch because of the fact that like um primarily because of the speed things we just mentioned. I think this team would love to have a sticky web setter. And Masquerine is right there.
Ooh, is that Ninja?
uh,
Also,
so I'll say one of my issues with this team, I don't like that your fastest two Pokemon are both bugs.
yeah,
I think the double 100 speed is fine. I don't like that we have then though 5 Pokemon in the 80s. That
Yeah.
I'm not as big on.
I think my biggest issue with this team outside of that is specifically with Goldengo and what you don't have with it.
A fighting type? Well, you have
So,
Hitmonlee.
You have a Goldengo. Let's look at moves.
Oh yeah, no, you're right. Yeah.
You
I
have
think this team would love like
two mons that can set hazards and only one spinner. Goldengo wants to be on a team that can set hazards 4 days and then just deny the removal of hazards. This is not that.
No, I agree. I agree fully. I think Golango really solid mod, but I agree this isn't the team for it per se.
Mm-hmm.
I think
I
you
think
can
the
make this
other
team a team for Goldengo.
I agree 100%. This could absolutely work with Gold Team. Also, I think Swampert has really nice Terra types. I don't like Mabostiffs though. I
think-
like the Terra Fairy. I don't like the Terra Water on Mabostiff.
I think with Mabostiff, you just want to do Terra Dark. Although
Actually, honestly, yeah,
it sucks.
it doesn't. But like, it loves running like Scarf. Actually, like it loves having that little like sash on its neck.
Yeah.
Terra Dark,
I would like
Terra
something more
Fairy is
offensive on
lovely.
Mabostiff instead of just defensive Terras.
Mhm. Well, Fairy can be offensive because it does get played
Yeah.
off.
Mm-hmm.
But the
It works
water
quite nicely
is
for it.
not a good fit for it.
Yeah, I feel like the water is like almost like a fix because I don't. If you look at that team, your only water resist pre Terras is Mega Altaria,
Yeah.
and like sure you only have one water weakness, but water is a really common type. So like to be having to switch in neutrally a lot is not good.
What is fast? The issue now is we're starting into like teams where there's not a lot of fast Pokemon. Also, you don't have a fairy outside of like
Yeah.
Yeah. Not to be fair, Altaria is a Pokemon that like it won't be staying in space form for long. It's not like a Sharpedo or anything where like it can like it will like chill and then Terra.
Yeah.
Or not Terra, fucking Mega. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like this team would love to have a little bit more like hazards, maybe another water type. Is there any good water type setting hazard setters? Oh, Big Al. No, that's not a real one.
Let me see what's like hanging out. If there's anything kind of in the middle tiers or not. I would say Seismitoad, but you have a Swampert.
Yeah, I was thinking the exact same thing. I was like, oh wait, no, you already have Swampert.
Yeah, there's not much.
I was almost gonna say Caracosta into the low tiers, but unfortunately that's not a water resist.
Yeah, this team is honestly in a rough spot.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's the worst team, but I think it's a team. I think this team is worse than Nate.
I agree. I have this in
Yeah.
C tier.
Yeah, I think
I
would put this above.
I think
James.
weirdly enough, a Pokemon that could also kind of help with like the water types is I think, and like maybe like a bit more about speed is Sceptile. It'd give you a 120 speed Pokemon.
It'd give you. It also gets Unburden, right? So it'd give you second Unburden.
Yeah. I'd say at that point you could look to start a terrain team, but there's no terrain
And
setters.
there is a terrain setter.
Arboliva is not real.
Arboliva is very real.
Kind of is. But you're not going to be running Arboliva and Sceptile. Let's be real. That's.
The Sceptile get Grassy Glide.
Wait, could
Although
this
it doesn't need it because
could this
of,
team actually consider Lapras?
I think it could.
Yeah.
I don't think this team needs Stoutland. You're not a.
I agree.
I don't think you need the doggy.
You do have two ghost resists or two ghost weak mons, so I think having that immunity is nice, especially when you're resisting the Mastiff.
Yeah.
And the Mastiff has like okay-ish bulk.
I would like a normal type that can like
Maybe.
set hazards or like be a cleric.
Mm-hmm.
Does Kangaskhan get stealth rocks?
It does.
Yes.
Kangaskhan.
I wouldn't mind Kangaskhan. Yeah. Oh, I think that could be a nice addition.
But I do think this is a C tier team. I think this is above.
Yes,
Arceus,
I agree.
Or above Cam's, below Nate.
Okay.
Above his own team? Wow.
So Brady is going to be here eventually.
So in the meantime, shall we move to Bushie?
Yeah, we're gonna skip Brady for now. We're gonna move up to Bushie, who's got
Time.
an interesting team. Terra Noivern with Terra Normal, Terra Steel, Gengar, Mega Gardevoir, Toadscruel, Darmanitan, Quaquaval, Fergarath, King Gambit, and Knacklestack. With Terra
I
Water
wanted
and
Mega
Terra.
Gardevoir.
You know, I'm gonna be honest. I like this team.
It's so this team feels very fair. Outside of the Terra Noivern, I think the Terra Noivern is a massive threat. But like outside of that, I look at this team. I'm like, yeah, it's a team. I don't think it's bad, but this is just
Yeah, like honestly, nothing outright stands out immediately to the point where I'm super scared of it. But at the same time, it's like I don't see this being below A tier at all.
No. So what I wrote down is like I think this team has a lot going for it. There's some incredible offensive threats. Mega Gardevoir, Quaquaval, Darmanitan, Gengar, and even though I'm not the biggest fan of King Gambit, I think this is a good spot for it on this team.
yeah, dude, rest of your offense is fast. Also, you could technically go, if you really wanted to. You do have Trick Room Burgerath plus King Gambit.
Mm-hmm. No, that's
Hmm?
unironically something that he can look for at times. I think these are two really good Terra captains.
And two like very
Terra
offensive Terras. You have a super offensive Terra and a super defensive Terra.
and Knacklestack on its own can kind of be hard to deal with. You're now giving it great defensive typings. Yeah, yeah, that's lovely.
Like you have actual spinners. You have defog. You do have healing. You have two mods that can click wish. You got roost.
You have a lot of pivots.
You got so many statuses. You got knockoff. Like this team can
You have a
Look
couple.
at all the plenty of good disruption too. Like
This team,
Gengar Haze is something to look out for at times.
yeah, like
Gengar Haze, you got a few encores. Fast encores at that. And like that move does not get the value it deserves. I think Quaquaval is being very underrated. That
Quaquaval
Pokemon is so
terror.
good. If it gets a kill with its with Aqua Step, that could be GG in some
I think
regards.
this is a great team for Darm, because it's
Mhm.
can remove hazards, so you don't have to run shoes on him. So you can run like Life Orb, Sheer Force, or just like Scarf.
Or just scarf him up.
The Toad has 100 speed, but also not really because Spore has negative priority on it because they.
Yeah, I think Toadstool is better as like an AV mon personally with like Rapid Spin knockoff and like it's Earth Power. It's like good stab options.
Gardevoir, which is going to blow things up.
That's going to nuke things.
This team has nukes. Like Noivern.
Yeah, this team has a lot of nukes.
Like a Gardevoir is going to nuke things. Darm is
my biggest concern. I would love a Terra or like a flying type or a Levitate mon that's not going like specifically like that's just not Terra because like if otherwise you become very Earthquake weak. Like if Noivern Terras, you become very Earthquake weak.
Yeah,
and that's my big criticism. But
immunity.
I'm gonna be honest. I have this really highly rated. I think this is a really good team.
Do we think this is
I think it's a really. I think it is better, absolutely better than your team. I think it might be better than Will's team.
No.
Will was the Deoxys team, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't think this is better than Will's because of the very thing Lex said right off the bat that this team feels very fair. I don't like you brought up Quadruple, but Quadruple needs to find that opportunity. If it doesn't find the opportunity, it really doesn't get to go rolling. So I feel like if you just play correctly against this team most of the time, you could theoretically get over it just fine. Will's team is gonna steamroll you.
I think this team is, and I think it's like very much like mid A to high A, but this is not like an S tier like unfair team.
Exactly, it's very balanced.
Stop A for now then, as it's our only Pokemon in our team in A.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think it is worse than Will's or Jack's. Like this team, like it doesn't have a wow factor, but that could also let people like underestimate it.
That's the thing is like I think there is a lot of Pokemon that can like win the game for Bushie. Like
I do think it's
I
a
think
good for sure, but I like just looking at it, like this team scares me more, and this team
Mm-hmm.
scares me more. Whereas this team, I'm like, yeah, I mean, there's like mons on the team that are scary, but it's just I don't know how to explain it. It's good. So, do you anything else you want to
you've
say?
never faced Stalakberry Darmanitan, have you?
I have not. That sounds funny.
Yeah,
I mean, it's also like this doesn't feel like a nightmare in the prep stage.
that's fair. But like,
I mean,
I will say, I think
I
this.
think I could absolutely get into prep and like start looking and realize I have to run 5 AVs because of Terra, Noivern, and Mega Gardevoir, and then I'm getting nuked by Darmanitan.
And Nasty Plot Gengar.
This team is good.
Gengar really struggles to find the opportunity to get the nasty plot
That's
off,
fair.
though. Because it's gonna die in one hit most of the time.
Like this team is good. I think it's great even, but I don't think it's like pushed over the edge.
Top of A.
Top of A.
Yep.
All right.
All right, Julia, would you like to introduce us to your team?
Yeah, we got the best team in the game. We got Jolteon with Terra Water, Terra Ice, Cyclizar, Ogerpon Wellspring, Moltres, Florges, Terra Dugong with Water and Fairy, Registeel, Muck, and Ting-Lu. All right. So what do you guys
I
think of
want to
shit
say
here?
one thing before you start explaining, because I just want to say if Mega Bayonet ends up being useful for you, I demand you write an apology form.
I will send you an
No, I
apology
think.
form like you sent me for Crobat.
Okay.
Mhm.
So
Okay, let's see if it actually if it has use. We'll see.
I
That's
could
very
have
big.
the
We'll
same
see.
feeling with this team as with Bushie's team, but I do think this team is better than Bushie's team. Your team has like a lot of cool
Like
mons,
this,
but it doesn't have that like holy shit, what do I do against this team kind of feel.
That's fair. Yeah, that's fair.
Like
mhm.
just it's a team of like
Like I would
good
outright
mons.
put this on par with Bushie's.
Yeah, it feels this team is more defensive, which I think might help because this team can actually go to the long game if it needs to. I feel like Bushie's team could struggle in the end, like in a long game, because you don't have any physical walls.
You have Knuckle Stack.
That's true. You have a stack. Okay, I rescind my point.
But that's like I mean that's it. Where it's like on this my team I have Registeel or Ting-Lu. On the special side I have like Florges or Ting-Lu or Florges or Registeel or Ting-Lu.
You have Bushie's team if it was fat,
Mm-hmm.
and like weakness wise,
It's also faster, slightly faster.
It's nice on the weakness side because you're only like -1 is rock, and it's because of Moltres that's going to be wearing shoes every game.
Yeah.
Jolteon Terra, obviously, I think one of the best Terra captains.
I have been
Met.
waiting to use this. Like I have been. This is a Pokemon with Terra. I have been highly looking forward to using it. I can't wait to be disappointed by it.
I think it is probably one of the top 4. There's a lot of good Terra captains, but it's up there. Cyclizar is probably the premier spinner in the league.
I think without Shedtail, even without Shedtail, I think it's still a really solid Pokemon because it has a lot of good utility moves. It's got U-turn for pivots. It's got Taunt. It's got Rapid Spin. It's got Knockoff.
You can
85. You can. You can also just click the Draco Meteor Nuke button sometimes.
Yeah, it gets like regen. It can keep coming in and out. It's great. Ogerpon Wellspring's Ogerpon fucking Wellspring. Like I don't know what else you want me to say about it. It's gonna click Trailblaze and click Ivy Cudgel into your face.
Yeah. It's also got like really good support moves. It's got Pivot. It's got Spiky Shield. It's got Encore. It's got Spikes. It's got Synthesis if you really want to be crazy.
You got a Moltres.
It's got Quick Attack.
Moltres is going to be running. I'm going to tell everyone, okay? Here's what Moltres is going to be bringing every week. Flamethrower, U-turn, Defog, Roost. Going to be wearing heavy-duty boots. You're welcome.
What about Will-O-Wisp?
Okay. What about
Yeah,
Brave Bird? It can run Brave Bird.
Air Slash I think is better than Brave Bird, but
I don't think you want chip.
Fair.
It's like
I think no, but Moltres. So like you know how I talked about with Parker how like Zapdos can run like really bulky sets. Moltres can do the exact same thing.
yeah.
I think 12-point Moltres is really lovely. I think Florges would be really nice for this team. It's got a lot of cleric support. It's got Calm Mind
the best berries
sets.
in the format.
Yeah, and a format with very few fairies, I think it's a lovely fit.
You got a Mega Bayonet,
Yep.
which is a mon that adds some annoyance. Basically, Mega Bayonet is your oh shit, someone set up on me button.
Yeah, I clicked the
Yeah,
Destiny Bomb button, I clicked the
additionally-
Encore button even.
So I think your team has a
Not
lot of mons
only
where
just
people
that,
could try and start setting up on you, and then if they do, then surprise, Mega Bayonet clicks Destiny Bond and you're dead.
Yep. Like, Mega Bayonet is probably one of the best I'm going to get sweeped mons in the game.
And
Put some
here's the thing,
respect
you have-
on Parish Song Dugong, please.
I do like Dugong. I
No.
like the Terra types. I do think water on it is nice because you get rid of your bad type.
So the reason for the water is specifically to help deal with fire types, because if you Terra water, you are 4 times resist to fire type moves.
Yeah, and also now it makes you not as reliant as on boots, so you can actually run like leftovers for residual healing.
Yeah.
So you're not getting worn down as much.
Mhm.
Yeah. Dugong is a complete support move
Is
on.
great. There are several teams that did not draft a ghost, so I think Ralph can absolutely click Sleep Talk, Body Press, Iron Defense, Rest.
Iron Defense. Yeah.
Muck is one of the best. It is the best cheap grounded poison.
6 points. It felt so nice. Muck. What a lot of people don't realize, Muck has a massive fucking moveset, like move pool.
And
it's got knockoff, it's got haze,
and speaking
taunt.
of knockoff, it is one of the best knockoff switch-ins ever. Because you can just have Rocky Helmet.
It's got Drain Punch, it's got Shadow Sneak, it's got all the punching moves for some fucking reason. It also has like serviceable bulk on the special side.
Yeah, 105 and 100 special defense.
Yeah.
And then you have a team.
And I think it's actually viable to like run AV if you wanted to.
I've been using Ting Lu a lot recently on OU, and I've found it's got a lot of really good tools. For starters, I mean, just look at that defensive profile. Like that 155, 125 is really nice. And you might be like, oh, but 80. But then Vessel of Ruin basically artificially increases its SPDF even more. So it can be a really good mix ball. Keep in mind, Ting Lu survives Terra Water Jolly Ivy Crudgel from Ogrepon Wellspring with 0 defense investment besides IVs.
I don't like that.
No, it's a really good bulky mod. I think
I also have the Ogrepon Wellsprings. That way you can cudgel into your own Ting Lu.
Also, Ogrepon Wellspring is the best Ogrepon. Don't at me. It is. It's worth the most for a reason.
And then on your move side, you got 2 mons that will very happily click Stealth Rocks. You have a Ting Lu that will happily click Spikes, or an Ogrepon that can as well. You already said you have your Rapid Spinner, and then you also have 2 defoggers.
Moltres is probably the better defogger, just because Floor just kind of has like 4 move slot syndrome a little bit.
Because 4 just like all of your cleric potential.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of cleric potential. Thankfully, a lot of my mons have good, like, we have a lot of self-recovery as well. We've got Moltres Roost. That's really it. I think there's some good pivot potential in this team as well, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you have Flip Turn, you have Volt Switch, you have U-Turn, U-Turn, U-Turn. You don't have Shed Tail. You could have
a lot of momentum.
Thank you. Welcome back, Brady.
Welcome back. We'll get to your team here in a second.
Right after this.
Over you.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry for being gone for so long.
Yeah,
all good.
And holy disruption.
Yeah. That's what? How many taunts? Is that 6 taunts? I can run a team with all taunts.
Every single Pokemon you bring a week, click taunt.
Yeah.
Julia, did you talk about your favorite mon, Mega Banette?
Listen. If some asshole didn't steal my planned fucking Mega, so I had to draft a lower tier Steel type, and then I still wanted to have a Mega, and I see Mega Banette for 1 point more than Houndstone, I wouldn't have drafted it. But some
Mega
fucking
Banette?
asshole. We'll see about
you
that.
bet. I swear to God, Julian, you better write that apology form.
So,
Yeah, Lex.
It's not
You
coming
know
a
how
single
good
fucking week.
Lex, you know how good Mega Banette is, right?
it's annoying. I just fought one like a few days ago, and it made me
Yeah,
want to like
that's
die.
yeah.
Now,
That's the
I
reason
will
why I said
say,
it. I was helping Foe.
it does have some good utility moves that can make it really hard to, or not hard to deal with, but it can like a prankster Will-O-Wisp on the Pokemon that set up a Swords Dance. Oh, that sounds lovely.
I think this is utility the team.
Thank you.
I
know it's
can't
mainly
think
a
this team's
2-threat
right hit
comp.
S, but I think it's really damn good. I think this is the
Oh.
third best team so far. I think this is above Bushie's team. I think this is the top of A team, and I think this will remain the top of A tier.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think this is the gatekeeper stopping other teams from being S, honestly.
Okay.
Like I like this.
Thank
team
you
a
very
lot.
much. I can
This
argue.
team
I
feels
can.
very well rounded.
I'm only devil's advocate. You can the first thing I think a lot of people like might dislike the team is like that. There's only two like immediate offensive threats, being Jolteon and Ogerpon Wellspring, and I can agree with that. But I think a lot of the walls or like Beef Boys on this team, I think their damage might be a little underrated in that regard.
Oh yeah, you
because
have more damage, but I
like a lot of them have some innate damage.
I mean, you've always got to respect the fact that Cyclozar can just throw out a Draco Media.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Or Florges. I have been running Max Attack Specs Moonblast on Florges sometimes, and it's been really funny.
I mean, Muck has 105 attack. Tinglu has 110
damage
attack.
is called Whirlwind.
Yeah.
There's also the
It
fact
really
that
is.
there are situations where people are not gonna click an offensive move against Bayonet because they're expecting a fucking a Destiny Bond, and then you get to hit them with that 165 attack stat.
Yeah, 165 Poltergeist is actually no joke.
This is a team. I do think, Julia, if you play this team right, like this is a team I could see winning.
Yes, I like hearing that. Let's hope I play it right then.
Like I think this team could actually like win the whole league. Truthfully, I do think it's great. Like I don't think it's quite S, but it is.
I can agree with that.
Damn close. It is a very good
Won't be top of 8 tier 2 in a row, aren't I?
team. You might be. And now we can go back to Brady. Brady, if you'd like to explain, you just made a lot of changes the other day.
Yeah. So, if you just, I'll go quickly, but like I'll go. I was like, what is the most broken thing that I still thought was on the board? With because I have to be honest, I think I had one of the worst picks, the 10th out of 16, and I saw Landorus was still there. Never tried that thing. And then I was just gonna go for fun mons. What are you gonna say, Julia?
I was gonna say I was actually considering Landorus for a little bit. No, I think it's a really fucking good Pokemon.
I did not think it was making it to me at all.
No, I'm surprised it did.
Bacon was gonna pick it, but I told him to pick Gaporn because Gaporn.
Oh, that should have been first pick.
No, it really should be. Like I get
most broken mon.
I get why what was. I guess we can say the first thing picked was Valiant. Like I get why, but I think boosterless Valiant isn't as good.
Yeah,
I think,
Austin. Okay, sorry.
I was gonna say I think Gaporn without booster way better than Valiant without booster.
Because like a lot of times you don't
get
booster on Gaporn.
Exactly.
He actually, I told him that he should draft that, but it was between that or Valiant. But Valiant, because he wanted Treads round 1, and he was not going to select it with the first overall pick.
Why not? Treads is great.
Is fair because it's a fairy format, so fairy.
It's a really good fairy type. Don't let Will tell you otherwise.
You said Clefairy?
Yeah,
but yeah, and then I'll go faster, but yeah, and then I just picked mons that I thought were broken, like Terrapalmon was something I did a lot of mocks in for IPL 15 in the upper division. I'd be using that thing because I had multiple people ask me for mocks, and there's not many things I can switch into double shock electric. And yeah, it gets like all the coverage. And I think the Starmon that I want to provide is actually Grafai.
Oh, I think
Grafai-
Rafai is lovely.
So good. Basically, right, I have a lot of threats. I think it has the best move in the game with Prankster and Parting Shot. So I can just get in one of those threats, or I can get in a Vaporeon, set up a Wish, and go into one of my 2 tanky boys. And yeah, it's just a team. I mainly when I'm playing this league, especially the first season, I drafted a very offensive team, wanted to have fun. So yeah, that's my goal. Just
I think-
try new mons now.
I think yeah, you've got.
There you go. Sorry.
So actually, I got around to rating your team. So if you want to hear what my thoughts were from what I wrote down.
Sure, why not?
So first off, I think this team, the changes you made, absolute step up. I think so. I actually had this team when I started. I'll be honest, I had this in C tier when I first rated your original.
No, that's fair. I knew speed tiers were I had the worst.
Your speed tiers were really struggling, and Boulder perfect for that because I believe is Boulder. How many points is Boulder?
It was
Boulder
18.
is
Okay, so no booster for Boulder, which yeah. But like I feel like this team has a lot of threatening power on both the physical side and special side. Boulder, Palma, and even Mega Aggron are like really scary physical threats, and then on the special side, Lando and Lando and Terapagos are really, really good. Rock Polish Lando is a very viable set, in which case it can kind of just like win games in that regard.
Ability Gallade to Rock Polish Landers, yeah.
Welcome back, Gallade.
Yeah.
But hey, this thing can't be burned by Heatran.
Yeah.
You've got some really nice niche utility with Croc Rock and Leavanny. And I think while there isn't a lot of can we go to the move section, Lex?
Yeah.
I have Mega Aggron's gonna be running like Stealth Rock a lot.
Yeah, Mega Aggron absolutely running rocks.
I don't have any spikes anymore though. I
I honestly
spike options.
I think that is fine because you have
Leavanny
really good
always
rockers.
has room for sticky webs. Rock.
And like
And like I'm always running Rapid Spin on Terapagos. I think it's
I was going to say your only real hazard removal because like you could run Defog on Landorus. Your reliable hazard removal is Rapid Spin of Terapagos, but like Terapagos loves to click that button.
Yes, it does.
Because Terapagos with a speed boost
and
like a Calm Mind,
scary.
Calm Mind Rapid Spin. Yeah.
You also have Double Wish back into Terapagos, which is lovely.
You have Triple Wish.
Yeah, but Palma's not going to be clicking Wish.
That's true. You've got really good Cleric potential on this team. You've got some decent pivots. Flip Turn, Parting Shot, Volt Switch, U-Turn. You've got some really reliable like hazard removal, some decent priority. Actually, it's mainly from Palmont though, but like fake out or like Mach Punch with Iron Fist. Terra types I think are really good for this team. I think the triple Terras I really like. I know you're between Terra Fairy and Terra Ice on Palmont. I think Terra Ice is better personally.
Yeah.
I think
Brady
biggest
did
issue
steal my Terra types from 2 of these mons. I have ran both Terra Croc and Terra Leavanny, and those are.
I like the dark.
I admit it.
I'm assuming you're like looking at like knockoff on the like Terra Dark knockoffs on the Vanny.
Terra Dark knockoff.
Yes, so I realized I didn't have a dark type, and then in my first playoff match ever was against Lex, and she had a Terra Dark Leavanny, and it was actually kind of threatening.
Yeah, I didn't have a dark type on my team, so my dark type was Leavanny.
Yes, very
Leavanny
viable.
has like a reliable attack and speed, like for like attack speed, a lot of things, especially after its webs. I think Croc Rock loves poison, and honestly, like it's fine just Terra grounding as well. Vaporeon's a great Pokemon. It's probably and like Terapagos is probably like your best like special like sinks, I guess, for lack of a better word, like take those hits. And that's one of my like issues with the team is I guess you don't like really have like a reliable like special wall per se. But like I think
it's Boulder. No, I'm just kidding.
But like honestly, I think if that feels like kind of a little bit more of like a little.
I think you just run max HP, max Spadef, like careful Vaporeon every game.
I agree. I think you can absolutely get away with that, and that'll be like really reliable. It pairs really well with Mega Aggron, where it's like because it can tank the fire type attacks for Mega Aggron, and Mega Aggron takes the grass type hits for Vaporeon.
It actually gives Mega Aggron recovery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really good recovery.
I followed, especially with Mega Aggron, right? Last season, I only brought Mega Steelix once in the regular season, right? of GTL, and I started to fall in love with it in playoffs. I brought it every single playoff match I had, my 3. And Mega Steals are very good, especially like Mega Aggron. Like you can bring this thing max Def. It's not going to eat as well, but like you already have the physical defense. You
Max
can
Def Iron Defense Body Press.
it's basically all you need with this thing.
Yeah. But I was also gonna say, I think the other issue is like you have slightly concerning weaknesses to water and ground, but you have Lando and Vaporeon, which are probably going to be like brought essentially every week if I were to guess. Which also those two kind of work together pretty well, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just Freeze Dry. I would say I think Freeze Dry is a bit annoying.
But
like,
you have Vagron.
Yeah, Mega Aggron.
My only other complaint, I think there is some crucial types that are not on this team that I think would be very nice to have, being Dragon, Fire, Ghost, primarily.
Yes. I was gonna have Bax Caliber on this. Bax Caliber is always on my original team until I wanted Terapagos last second.
Yeah, I think Terapagos is very good for this team. I don't think that's like I would not take that trade personally. I would keep Terapagos.
Yeah, and I had Craggle and stuff.
I think this team will be fine without it, but it's like I would love, especially like without Terra, you don't have Fire type. It's like I don't know how good Terra Fire Leviani necessarily is, like compared to Dark, that is.
So it resists fire, and it resists.
Yeah, you can.
It resists Fire, Ice, and Bug from its original weaknesses.
Which is like kind of all I cared about.
Yeah, you keep the rock
that one
weakness.
I stole off of Blacks entirely.
Fine. No, I think it's solid. It's just like I think the Dark is just so much better, if that makes sense.
Yeah. So
yeah, I agree with you.
Leviani, as a Terra captain, I picked it up late in the season. I brought it to 3 games. Every game it was Terra Dark as my lead, and it got like 2 kills. It got like a kill every game. It was awesome. It just clicked.
Sash Sticky Webs knockoff.
Yeah, pretty much. It just clicked knockoff, and things would die.
No, it can do incredible work. I think this team's really solid. I have this in my B tier.
I think this team does feel very similar to my team, maybe a bit better. I think this team's probably better than my team. So I would say like top of B, bottom of A. I don't think it's as good as like Bushie's team or your team, Julia, but it's in that.
No, I think this team is really solid. I can see a lot of ways this team can win and be very scary, especially on that physical side.
I think I know I already highlighted this. I think Grafai just bringing threats. It's just. I
think Grafai is like so good for like the utility of the team. It can really like shut down a lot of things.
Another team that is Earthquake weak. You do have Lando and like you have Leviani, but Leviani is going to be Terra into either a neutral or a ground weakness that doesn't want to stay in its original type.
Yes, I agree with you. Especially because most mons carry the move Earthquake, and yeah, I took away most of my ground.
So I could see this either like top of B, right above my team, or bottom of A.
I will say
I'm in agreement with Lex.
I think the ground weakness just kind of like makes me lean towards B a little bit more. Sorry, Brady.
That's okay. I'm not taking offense to this. This is a Pokemon at the end of the deck.
Yeah, it's still a good.
But no, I think this team is really solid. Solid.
Team, so.
Yeah. It's
I think your team's better than mine.
Rock, or I mean, filter team.
No,
sorry.
I think your team is better than mine.
Yeah. But yeah,
like,
thanks.
Straight up, I think your team is like so good. So we will be moving on to Gus, but I'm going to take a brief intermission real quick because I need to let my dogs out. Right, and welcome back from the intermission. We're moving on to team number 10, I believe.
Yeah.
Which is Gus's team, which might be. So this team is the only thing that hasn't had Terras declared yet. But I do have a pretty good idea of what he's going for.
And do you happen to be willing to share what he's going for?
So, what I believe it's going to end up being is Terra Wochi and Terra Flareon.
Okay. Yeah, probably.
Wochian being like poison, and then steel or water, and Flareon being. Flareon's interesting. It's actually one of the few mons I feel like actually really likes having access to all 3 Terra types. So I feel like he likes being fire, grass, or normal. So picking like 2 of those 3 can be tricky. Also, funnily, this is one of the few teams that has like no type overlap between any of its mons.
Yeah.
And it is once again a very offensive team. So the team is Swellow, Screamtail, Hiram, Annihilate, Revavroom, Mega Blastoise, likely Terrawochian, likely Terraflarion, and Sandslash. So, I mean, defensively, it's mostly Wochian, but you do have, like, Mega Blastoise, which is...
Hey! Put some respect on Screamtail.
Well, I was getting the Screamtail next. Wochian,
Okay,
Mega
okay,
Blastoise,
continue.
Screamtail. But then also,
Okay,
like,
okay.
I'm not gonna lie. I think Annihilate also deserves a mention on being defensive. That thing's hard to kill.
yeah, it's really
Yeah, I mean,
hard.
Annihilate depends on the set.
Same with Hiram,
but I
too.
agree.
Hiram can run Subroost.
Maybe this team's just kind of nice and bulky.
This team might just be goated.
Yeah.
I will say that last column has a little bit of glaring stuff.
Well, the speed column?
Yes, I will say that. But everything else is pretty good.
There's a couple
I think-
overlaps.
Do you run most of the time with Screamtail speed?
Yes and no. It depends on what you're going for. Because
Yeah.
you're going for like a more like utility, like Stealth Rock, like Thunderwave kind of ish set, like Stealth Rock, Thunderwave Encore. Yes. If you're running like bulky, no.
It is booster allowed.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, it's true.
I think
Annihilate
Screamtail just really
can-
likes running leftovers though.
Yeah, I think Hiram
Or
can
even,
do
like-
and Scale Shot. It's fully allowed. It can do anything. It can do whatever it wants. It can run Choice Scarf. Annihilate gets to do things.
Yeah. I will say, I feel like on this team, Kira might be more like pigeonholed into like special sets, or else your only real reliable special attacker is Blastoise.
Kind of, but then if you
Yeah.
go for a special Hiram and then it starts hitting you with Scale Shots.
That's true. One of Kieran's strengths is absolutely its versatility, and it does absolutely have great versatility.
Like if you think your team is gonna prep for it being like special, then you just don't make it special, and you just make it click more physical moves. Also, there is
A
say
super
that,
viable
there is
mix.
A Swellow with Boom Burst.
I wish that thing was Terra. Like Terra,
Yeah.
making that thing Terra. Like
I can understand
Swellow's
that,
so
but I
fun.
think you kind of need the Terra on Wochian as well.
Yeah, I was thinking that's I was going to like bring that up, where it's like I would love Terra Swellow. The more I thought about it, but like I think Terra Wochian is just so nice. How many points is Swellow? I can't.
Swellow
11.
was 11.
I'm blind.
pretty pricey. I'll
There
be
it is.
honest.
Yeah.
But like it's really good at its niche.
I mean I like. Here's the thing. Everyone
Get away
talks
with it,
about.
honest.
Everyone talks about Scrappy Boom Burst Swellow,
But, then you can just
but
run
honestly,
Guts.
exactly Guts Facade.
Yeah, I just brought it.
Exactly.
It got 4 kills
I think
against
the
Eight.
Kieran.
strength of this team is that like it's got a couple like offensive mons that can go either way. Like Hiram can be Specs, or it can be like Dragon Dance or Scale Shot.
Yeah.
Swellow can be Guts, or it can be Choice Specs Boom Burst.
Mega Blastoise could be rapid spin boosts and then offensive, or like a bulky heavy hitter.
Yeah. Wochian is really good at chipping things down by clicking the Ruination and Leaf Seed buttons.
No, I think this team has some really, really, really strong utility and like versatility mons. Not to the same level of
You have
as
You have 2 spinners.
yeah, the 2 solid spinners. Swellow can fit defog pretty easily in a lot of
Yeah.
sets. I think.
Really only running a few attacks. You have Flip Turn.
It's
You
real-
have Parting Shot. You have 2 mons that can click U-turn. Swellow is pretty happy to click it sometimes.
Yeah, you have some decent rockers. Really funny that Annihilate gets rocks.
But I think these two are both.
It is funny.
They're pretty good at it. You have obviously like Wave. You have Fast Encore with Screamtail. You have Haze. You have Taunt. You have some knockoffs. Screamtail gets every move under the sun. You can make Screamtail like a setup sweeper. It gets bulk up Drain Punch.
You're not doing that.
You could,
but-
you could run bulk up Psychic Fang's Drain Punch.
I think the biggest issue though is there's not a lot of like item removal. You have 2 knockoffs on Sandslash and Wochian, and then you have Trick on Screamtail. That's it.
Yeah, but Wochian's always
What's
gonna
their-
be up, I feel like
Yeah,
Wochian runs fun
that's-
moves.
I mean, it depends if you're running like Stun Spore, I guess.
And
Or
only
Gigaton.
having
It
Drain.
doesn't get stun spore.
one. Only having
Wochian
one,
does. It does. I don't know why it's not on there.
only having one flying immunity is a little scary too.
Yeah, especially with like
Although granted,
2 of your
Wochian
like.
is gonna be like Terra. Like that's I think why Wochian should probably.
Okay, if it's Terra Steel, I think that absolutely really does help.
Yes. Okay. Never mind. Yes.
Yeah, never mind. We take it back. Uh,
I'll take
I
it back.
wasn't familiar with your. The issue is, I think both of the Terra captains are ones that like want to Terra every game they're there, but you don't need to bring Flareon every game because you have Annihilate, Kyurem.
yeah. No, I think I can see Wo-Chan being like the default de facto like Terramon on this team. And I think it's really
I
good with it.
do think that if in that situation, ground does seem like a type that this team could have trouble with if Lucian is tearing every game.
That is true. I will say like resisting it, yes. Threatening it though. So like those. So like
So Ref is
if like a ground type
technically
switch,
not a 4x weakness because of filter.
it's still pretty darn close though.
I don't
It's like a
think
Yeah,
3
you're
times.
Yeah,
You're still
and you can,
dying to
like,
to
Rev likes running
earthquakes.
air balloon too.
That is true. That is true. Rev does have some nice utility. I don't like that it overlaps speed with Annihilate that much.
That's
Also,
fair, but
we
also like they are two really good mons.
yeah, no, they are. They are. Rev Room likes clicking that shift gear button. It's kind of scary with it.
I believe
Yeah,
the
but-
original plan was actually going to be picking up Registeel and Glamora,
Oops.
Oh,
but when that
Yeah.
changed, it turned into just picking up Rev of Room.
No, I think Rev Room is really good. Lovely little. It's a lovely steel type or poison type, but it is a lovely steel type as well.
Yeah,
Filter
filter makes it like
I think
so
it's-
hard to kill with some things. Like if you
Yeah,
get
some
like,
lovely
a
bulk.
fire move or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think. No, I think this team has a lot going for it. I would have liked maybe a different like aromatherapy mob, like Heal Bell on Flareon is okay. But that's nitpicking.
But
That's
also,
nitpicking
like,
for sure.
you don't want to click hazards into, or you don't want to click status into this team willy nilly because of Gut Swallow being there. And
Guts Swallow, Guts Flareon.
There's
Yeah.
double guts on this team.
No,
You can't just click things. You can't click hazards willy
I
nilly.
agree. I can agree with that.
There's also the fact that like because of Revibroom, you're not gonna want to chance throwing out Toxic most of the time either.
Yeah, I agree. I think there's a
Yeah.
lot of like denial of that on this team, and I think that's kind of nice.
I don't think
I-
this is an S tier team. I think this could be an A tier team.
I agree.
I do think
Yeah.
something very small is that I feel like Trick Room is very good into this team, but
Like good against it.
very good against it. But it's
I-
not the biggest
yes.
concern
Mhm.
either. Their
I can-
slowest mon
Mhm.
65, but honestly, having a team that's just in general mid tier is not bad at all either. Because not many people run Trick Room in general.
I think like the only person we've mentioned that like theoretically could is like Bushie.
Yeah, I 100%.
Now where
Because I think
where
Bushie
does
has-
this sit in the A tier category? Like is this between Bushie and Brady's teams?
I thought we have Bushie top of or Brady top of B.
Brady's top of B. So is this is I think still A tier. So is this like below Bushie? I think this is below your team, Julia.
I would personally agree. I think it could be above Bushie's. I think your offensive. So we talked about how
has a lot more of like that wow
So
factor, like
that's exactly what I was about to say. You said the issue with Bushie's team was that like you didn't see like that wow factor that can necessarily like be like the default win condition. I see two of them on this team:
yeah.
Kyurem and Annihilate.
Yeah, they need to be set up or get hit. They're good.
Yeah. There's also like Flareon. Flareon's gonna randomly take a game probably.
Swellow could just take a game if it felt like it. Blastoise
Yeah.
could do something.
Yeah, there's
Everyone-
so many
This
things that are
team
just
can
gonna
just-
run away
Also,
with a game out of
I
nowhere.
should clarify. I believe yes. Shell Smash is banned for Mega Blastoise.
Yes, which is why
Oh,
you're
thankfully.
you're set up. It would not be $13 if it could Shell Smash. It would be like 8.
Yeah. How many points? Wait, how many points is regular Blastoise?
Regular Blastoise.
It was 11.
Oh, it was 11. Oh, it was taken.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. No, it was taken very early. I was gonna get it with Mew and
Yeah.
Terapagos, but it
So
went
yeah, I think
way too
Justin
early.
ends
Oh,
up like between Bushie and Julia's team. I think that's very fair. I think this is a team that is
Yeah,
super
I agree.
threatening, while still being like having a lot of utility. It's not hyper offense. Like this team can do other things too, while still killing
Yeah.
very quickly.
Yeah.
Now
Moving on, we have
the Skye's team, and I know Julia, you have issues.
I'll let you guys go first.
So I helped a lot with this team, so I might be a bit biased, but I do see where you're coming from. But anyway,
Mhm.
we're starting with
Well,
the
let's
latest-
introduce the Pokemon. We'll talk about the nice
latest
things first.
Oh.
Galvantula, Lipard, Pheasantipity, Zygarde 50, Terrameloetta, normal and fighting, Hitmonchan, Alamamula, Mega Mawile, and Terracroclor with Water and Fairy, my nemesis.
So
Took my
First
ma a
thing,
while.
I think I see 4 Pokemon on this team that those 4 look lovely together. And they are
It's interesting.
50% Zygarde, Mega Mawile, Tornadus, and Alomomola.
You don't think Galv?
Well, I'm talking like this is like the big 4 for this team because those 4 Pokemon cover each other's weaknesses completely.
And
That is a
also,
really
this
good.
team does have double regenerator, which is going to make
Exactly,
it
I was about to say that.
kill.
That's also a double regen core with 2 heavy physical
Yeah.
threats, and I think that is the like big 4 this team is going to be built around.
Yeah. I see
Now
that.
let's talk about the pieces around it. I think Fezandipti is a decent special sync where it can switch in for like a bit more threatening special attacks because it's got 125 Spit F.
I think
Um,
Lipard is great.
I think it's okay. Lipard as a prankster mon seems really lovely until you look at its prankster moveset, which
it does
is
get
Thunderwave
It gets
and
Encore.
Encore.
It gets
It's really those 2. Oh, and Taunt. It's those 3. So it can be like a decent disruptor,
it
but
also
that's
gets prankster
kind of where.
trick.
All you need, honestly.
I think Galvantula Web's really nice, especially for like Zygarde and Mega Mawile. Please, for the love of God, do not run speed investment on Mega Mawile. It is a fucking joke. I swear to fucking Christ.
Well, I don't think webs are going to help Mega Mawile in the first place most of the time. If they're speeding
I guess like lower
like those
speed
mid-tiers.
threats, yes. Crocklore is a really nice Terra Captain. It's really fucking bulky on the physical side more than the special side, but still really nice on the special side. Like 58's absolutely serviceable with an Eviolite. Be careful of knockoff, but you've got a great knockoff. You've also got like just a really nice knockoff sync though with Mega Mawile, so that kind of works really nice together.
And you also have so many knockoffs. You can run a
You
whole
have some really good
knockoff.
Yeah.
Also, like most status like options in a team.
Yeah, you've got some good Thunder Waves. Glare is a really stupid move. That I think not a lot of people recognize.
It's broken.
It's really broken.
Willow.
Crocklow's Quick Willow.
Willow.
Have, both of your regen mons can click flip turn or U-turn.
Yeah. Can we talk about the before we go into the bad? Let's talk about the ugly. Can we go? So if we go back to the team, one of the things I don't like about this team is that I don't like Meloetta's takes that much.
Really?
It's stab. Yeah, it's stab for
It's
fighting.
just stab, but it's like I don't like pirouetting to like going to Meloetta pirouette as much because you have to waste a turn together.
Yes. So what Terra Fighting does? Your only weaknesses are Bug and Dark.
Fair.
If you're in this form, and also like I think it gets Aura.
It does get Focus Blast. It gets Focus Blast.
Okay.
It does not get Aura Sphere.
So this lets it stay special and still get like
stab
on.
That's fair.
Yeah, we can just go pirouette and just start killing things with its 128 and plus your speed. What does its speed come? Like I know its speed.
It's 130 something.
It goes extremely high.
Yeah.
I don't think Relic Song, like after watching Dim use it, like I really don't think it's terrible. Plus, I think that cheeky 10% sleep, right?
I guess it becomes a little bit like exploitable. Also, I think it's actually higher than it's like a decent chance. I want to say it becomes 20% because you have Serene Grant.
Serene Grant is to 20. Yeah. I don't hate it, but I see a lot of weaknesses. I see what you mean, Julio, that there's a lot of weaknesses with this team.
Yeah. So,
also, I didn't really know.
Let's look at that.
You only have one flying resist. You only have one normal resist.
The ground one is.
The ground one is also the really
ground
one, in my
is bad.
The ground is bad,
and that really hurts it for me. Also, we talked about this team has like webs with Galvantula. That's really nice, but it also does not have a lot of rockers. And your hazard removal, you're never running if you are not clicking Stealth Rocks on Mega Mawile. Like,
wait, can you go back to the Moosehead real quick, Lex? Oh no! Oh no! And then like you're gonna be running like I understand Tornadus T always runs defog like half the time with boots, right? But Rapid's like, and if Hitmonchan coming, it's not really a Terra Captain.
But
so
that means you're restricting yourself out of an AV Torn set.
Yeah. Also,
that is true.
In that, like AV Torn is good. AV Torn is really good. Also, you don't want to be clicking defog after you click webs. I will be honest. Yeah. Once you You do not
These are-
want to click defog after click webs.
These
Also,
are
I
just-
think
I
with-
don't know what you can like. I feel like there's a lot of this team that works. I don't know what you drop. Like it'd have to be like.
I'll be honest.
Fez.
I think Meloetta. I don't like Meloetta on this team.
If you want to, I did drop Gardevoir. You can just do some stuff with Fez and Dippity. And
Yeah, I think you could compress those two. You might
yeah,
want.
Megamaw as fairy.
Yeah, or maybe like I think the poison of Fez is nice. I'm not big on Meloetta on this team.
So I mean, Meloetta gives you
even-
like.
I don't
regular
know.
stuff.
I dig Meloetta here. I think swap out for a different poison personally.
Yeah, and that-
Yeah,
I
I
think you
agree
could
with.
get
The
more
issue
out
is,
of going for a
the only
different poison.
that can spin, I believe, is the Tentacool that's taken.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
Glimora.
Glimora has Mortal Spin, which does
Glimora.
remove hazards.
Um,
Glimora. In that case, you have to get rid of something else as well. Goodbye, Hitmonchan.
I was gonna say.
That doesn't. However, I actually no, it doesn't change our ground weakness because we're trading a poison for a poison.
Yes. Glimora gives you more hazards.
yes, which they desperately need.
Yes, I think that's really because does Glimora get all the hazards except for webs?
Yes.
Yep, it does.
Also, put some respect on Glimora as like a special
I was
attacker.
gonna say it.
Meteor Beam is so broken.
Yeah.
On that mon.
Yeah.
Meteor
I will be
Beam is
honest. I think with this team, because like we talked about, okay, so Pirouette form is 128 speed, so not 138.
So-
but like that's still insane. And I think
that is.
Lim
Yes.
However,
how much?
However, Fez
you
is
barely
9.
don't get enough points to grab it if you drop
So you'd have to
Hitmon
drop, like,
and
Lifeheart as well.
Fez.
they have.
Yeah.
Do they have 10 or 11?
Uh,
They can afford that. Yeah.
They
if
have-
got Lifeheart.
They have like quite a few mons. It's
Also,
so you can
here's the
drop
other
Lifeheart
thing I will say
and
about-
Mon instead.
here's the other thing I'll say about why you probably don't necessarily want Pirouette form as much. You don't need more physical attackers.
There is a if you don't want Glimora, there is a $1 limit.
I don't think.
I don't think
yeah.
Glimmet get
the
Mortal
physical
Spin?
attackers is that bad. I think they're fine on special attackers, and plus, Julie, like I think its physical move coverage is fine. Like it gets triple
Yeah.
axle.
That's fair. It's just I think when you're like your premier like carry threats being Megamall, Weil, and Zygarde, I think using the turn for Relic Song isn't as
I think you
Nice.
bring it in as like you lose a mon, right, and then you have a mon like their opponent's mon is low, so you click Relic Song, get the kill, become Pirouette form. You already have the speed boost, and then you turn the heck out of there, and then you come in when you want to as a cleaner with Terra. I think it's good. It just takes a lot of.
Does it
I see what you're
stay
saying.
in
It takes
Pirouette
a lot of
form?
time. Yes, it stays a Pirouette form
Okay.
when you switch out.
That definitely makes it better.
There
yes.
is also the fact that I think we're underselling the fact that Torn and Galvantula can totally just threaten things with just their innate special attack.
That is fair. Yes, that is true.
Gal gets 97 or
There's a-
93% accurate.
I think I would say
There's
though
a Torn on the team too. Like it's going to.
I
be,
would prefer if Melwood also had like over Terra Normal had like Terra Fairy.
Okay. Yeah, the Terra Normal one I am a bit complex about. I'm fine with
Yeah.
Terra Fighting.
Yeah, I think-
agree with you on
because
that.
it doesn't get
Huh.
scrappy, I guess. So it's not really.
It does
like,
not, no.
Crazy damage out like Hyper Voice or something.
Yeah.
Fairy would help a lot, actually.
Yeah.
Don't mind Ghost on that thing as well.
That's the other thing is like I would like a ghost or a grass type on this team. There's that like water weakness is kind of like not nice. I mean I know like you have Terra Water on Crocodile and you have a Lomola, but like
I was gonna say you
That's
only
a lot
have
of-
one week, and it's always gonna be terraing.
Yeah.
yeah, but you only
Yeah,
have
that's
one
true.
water resist. Is my
Yeah,
Other
but it's a
issue.
really good water
interesting.
resist.
it is. I always forget that Lomola's spit F is that fucking low. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, but it's really good with AV too.
You just want Wish. I think Wish is just better.
Yeah,
Okay,
no,
Wish-
you really want Wish on Mola.
That's fair. 'Cause it's got such a high
That's-
HP. But like, I mean, you can.
Mhm.
It gets knockoff.
Also, think about, like-
flip turn. It gets stalled. Mirror coat counts as a move for her Assault Fest.
Yeah, but like, you really want Wish.
Yes,
Yeah,
you
it's got
really
a
want Wish. Okay.
55. I don't think this is a D tier team, but I think this could definitely be like where do we have like Nate's team? Is Nate?
I think this might be below Parker's.
So what's the bottom? Oh, I like
I
this
forgot they
team
have a
better.
ninja
I think this team
skull.
I think this team is
Okay, yeah, I can
That's
get
funny.
behind that.
The Parker team is so cool. Ninjas from the Skull
Skye
T, dual
versus Nate. Where
bugs.
do we have Nate at?
We have Nate like high C tier right now. I can say this is like I can agree with mid C tier
I like this team better.
because I just above
Yeah.
Nate, but like still C tier.
Yeah, I think
The only thing
top
I can
tier-
say,
like I don't know, I just
Doesn't-
really like that like horns.
I think that core 4 is really good,
that
but you
core just,
really need
feels so
you
hard. to
really
play,
need
especially
more
if you have
hazard
unaware
support.
rock.
It needs more hazard support. Because like also keep in mind,
I think you do drop like
Croc
twice
does not
per
want to
round
like
on chance.
Croc doesn't want to like hop in on stones.
That's fair, but
Croc's-
he does get slack off.
He does, but you don't want to like switch in and then get like the knockoff button clicked when you're clicking slack off.
Yeah, fair. But I do think this 4
Yeah,
like feels like a 4 you can just bring like every game. And I think
I
that
agree.
puts it like high C.
I can
Yeah,
get behind that.
I honestly think this might be like
I can see this
high
being a little
C
bit
worthy to the point where
I'm not big.
Yeah.
I'm not sold on Meloetta either, really, because I think
D1 Meloetta hater over here.
I'm not a hater. It's just, I'm not sold on it as like the premier special
Okay.
threat, especially if you like do want to run physical on. I don't know.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
There's,
I would say like
honestly,
I think,
it is.
yeah, I'm gonna say high C. I would like
if this
it would be,
team
but I
just
think
had a
the
real
flying-
rock setter, I think it'd be better.
I agree.
Yes, that's
I can get-
what's killing it.
the flying
and
and
its
water
support.
weakness and this is what
You
kind of makes me
Also,
you're
the
relying on
ground
Mola.
again.
as
The
your
ground
ult.
weakness is not to be scoffed at. It's
It's bad. It's bad.
yeah.
I understand Zygar could take it, but like,
So I
questionable.
think high C. I think this like there's
Okay.
a 4 that really works on this
Mhm.
team, but it just kind of needs some of the other tools shuffled around.
yeah.
Going on to Maggie's team. Maggie, I'll let you take it over.
Okay. I I drafted first pick Volcanion because Volcanion was my GOAT in season 1, and the moment Kalos got added to this draft, I had to run it back. So this entire team is just built around on the fact that I was picking Volcanion. So we have Kilowatt Troll, Persian, Iron Treads, Salamence, Sharpedo, Pinsir, Mega Venusaur, Klefki, the GOAT, Golark, and Hariyama.
Can we just take a look at those speed
What
tiers
can
first?
we please?
Can we look at those speed tiers? That is like, oh,
For Terra's, it's Terra Killer
yeah.
with ice and ground. And Persian's
Mhm.
normal dark.
Yep.
Hey, Persian returns as well. Close enough. Welcome back, Whispers Wonder Cat.
Yes,
So
the Wonder Cat lives.
this is a weird team. I feel like there's a lot of broken shit in this season, and I don't think you grabbed any of the broken shit.
This is what I would describe as.
Yeah.
I would
That's so
describe this
relaxed.
team as solid. Like,
if
because
we
you
called
just
Bushie's
said-
team fair, this feels like fairer than fair.
I agree. But here's the
Yeah.
thing when we say that, is anything like bad on this team?
That's
Like-
the thing. Like nothing's bad, but nothing is like crazy. Like if we're
I see what you mean.
going like card games, this is like you're just trying to play some nice classic mid range, and everyone just keeps playing these combo decks around you.
I say like you have everything that pairs well with each other, right? But like as Lex said, there's just nothing like too broken. Like you have something with like crazy attack, you have something with crazy speed. It's just all around good, I think.
Yeah.
Like, this team has
Nothing,
everything
nothing
it
in the
wants.
17
You've got
Yeah.
priority defog. You have one of the best spinners, like probably like contending with Cyclizar for best spinner. You have priority defog. You've got prankster. You've got some decent rocks. You've got some good utility, like good pivots. You've got some nice self healing. You have a
Moving
lot.
on.
Hey, Maggie can make a 6 knockoff team. You've got some nice hazards. You've got some good phase and disruption. got some nice priority actually. Minus except for the ones on Hariyama, those are fake. Actually, it's really. I know the bullet punch.
What are you
is
talking
real.
about? Bullet punch is
Sorry,
real.
I missed that part. Weirdly, and I'm gonna be honest, I think this Persian is awesome. Terra Persian is unironically good, and let me explain why. Because you can
Sure,
run
go ahead.
Technician
I'll
Terra
talk
Normal.
this shit. You're the one that convinced me on it.
So first off, Technician Terra Normal Fake Out. Second off, Technician Terra Dark Bite.
Okay.
Uh,
And that's off of 115 speed, so you can just like scam through
Yeah.
people.
like I know, like 70 is not good attacks. Let's be real, it's not. But like you can, it can provide. Like Persian has really nice utility. It's got U-turn. It's got Thunder Wave. It's got Fake Out. It's got Knockoff. It doesn't get Knockoff. Oh, God, I said that without double checking. It's never clicking Roar, but it could be clicking Taunt. It's a really good, like really fast, like utility mod. Kilowatcher with Terra is a really good like like it is kind of like a good cleanup mod, especially because like it's got 3 semi-usable abilities, 2 more than the other one, but anyways. Treads can use booster, and I think that actually makes it better, like a better mod than Great Tusk, in my opinion. Salamence is like a D-Dance sweeper. Sharpedo isn't bad. Pinsir is also solid for 5 points. I think Mega Venusaur is so fucking good.
Mega Venu is
Yeah,
like
it's-
what your best mon.
Mega Veno has 2 weaknesses.
Alright, yeah.
It's a fat bitch. Yeah, it will sit there. Do its thing.
Klefki is lovely to have. It provides so much utility. Volcanion can be kind of like a fucking rock to deal with, despite being weak to rock. And then Golurk and Hariyama fill these like weird niches where like they're kind of chunky, but they can also like just do some damage.
They do the same thing.
Yeah, although
I
honestly,
don't like the fact that you left points on the board, but you also quite literally can't get another Pokemon.
I mean, I think part of the issue with like the points on the board is like, so it was like, because like, what was the last one picked? Was it Pinsir? It's like I don't know what you would, because like I don't know if there's like anything else that you like on this team. The only place I can see that like spend those points is maybe swapping Meds for Dragonite. That's it.
My concern with this team is I feel like this team could get overwhelmed by some of the broken shit.
I'll be right back.
Because like
that's my own concern, especially like looking over other teams is like I feel like I need to think and prep like properly for like so many matchups.
yeah, your
Otherwise,
team,
I'm just gonna get
like it's
steamrolled.
not a bad team. I think it might honestly just be too fair for this format. I think it's a team that will struggle because there are some things that are just not fun to fight, and this team just might struggle against them.
Absolutely.
Like even like Bushie's team, which I think is like the closest comparison, has like paranormal boom burst or like a mega gardevoir hitting like 165 pixelate hyper voices at you, or Quackable, which if it starts going, you can't stop it. I don't see, like obviously you got like Flame Charge Volcanion and Men's can click Dance, and like Mega Venusaur just sits there. Like you have good mons. I just
Ooh.
I have some concerns, so I don't think it's A tier.
I think this team is solid in B
absolutely.
tier.
I think like this is like the middest of mid in the entire format.
Because like, and like,
I'm completely content with being in B.
I agree with that, but like I mean it in like a positive way, where it's like doesn't feel like the weak side to this team is that there's not a like hard strong side.
I was gonna say this is an interesting team to compare to Mike. I think you and I both have B tier teams, but I have a team where I have all top end and then just little baby.
So do we? Where in B tier do we want to put it?
Do we think it's better or worse than my team? I think right now my team's the top of B.
I think no, Brady's top of B, and then you.
Okay, yeah. Do you think it's? I think it's worse than Brady.
It's definitely worse than Brady's. Just comparing it to yours, like at a glance, I would probably favor Maggie's, I think, but I might be a little biased because I did help like suggest some of the mods on this team. Actually, I don't know.
I think my team has more of that overwhelming like factor with.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, I can get behind that. So I'll say yours over Maggie's because I feel like I can see.
I think we are both like middle B. I don't think either of us are low.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree.
Okay.
These are both solid teams. You won't go wrong with these teams by far.
We have two very different teams. We're like apple and oranges teams. Your team is a bunch of like middle tier guys that are like pretty chill at doing their job. And I got like a bunch of like weenie league things mixed in with like monsters.
Because it's like barring Pinto, the next lowest is 3 mons. Or barring Persian, it's like 5, then 3 7s, then 10.
Yeah, and I got 2 guys at $1 chilling on my team.
I like how you have 11 mons, but I feel like choosing the 6 mons there's gonna be like weaknesses between them in your team, Maggie. I feel like that. Does that make sense?
That's a good point. Yeah, that's a good point. I can definitely see where you're coming from.
Because there's so many mons, whereas some of the other teams are only
yeah.
These are more.
Yes.
It's just like you have like 4. It's like you have the because it's like just looking at glance, like you have 3 Fairy Weak mons, but you also have 4 mons that resist it. 3 Fighting Weak mons, but you have 3 resistant to Ghost type. You've got so you don't have any more than like 3 weaknesses though, at least. So like I think that's not a bad. So like I think in that regard. Oh no, you have 4 rock weaknesses, but like
rock
that's fine.
Could be like a concern, but rock's always.
That's fake. That's fake.
It's not fake. This is why I always draft a rock mon.
There's no Lycan-Rock in the format. I'm not terrified of rocks.
But like I think you have like some good rock counters.
In this channel.
Yeah, I dropped my other rock mon at Ogre Cornerstone.
But like, because like I think like Treads is really nice to like take care of those like the like sharp stones in the ground, but also like Treads can do damage.
Yeah.
As we found out today, Treads has the 2nd most kills collectively in JDL over 2 seasons.
But yeah, I think your team is like solid. Like I don't think your team has any like notable flaws, but I think it's missing that like
that wow factor.
That factor of this team can just overwhelm you.
Like there's no like here's where we're gonna win.
We have last season's champion rocking up with it's a Hannah team.
So
it is a Hannah team.
This feels in a way a little less like a Hannah team than last season.
I guess yeah, because there's like the Moth and the Zygarde.
The Moth, the dog.
There's just a Petulant though.
So as we go into it, it is Terra Zygarde 10, which might be the best Terra captain in the format. Terra normal.
I'm sorry to cut you off. She actually had it in IPL 14, and it struggled. She changed its Terra types many times, but I think in a limited format,
it'll do better.
Plus, like it was the like some of the best players I know. It probably would do much better.
Yeah,
but
I think
she did struggle with it.
And then we have Mega Diancie. Stole that from me. I was thinking about running it back. Iron Moth, Jirachi, Pecharunt, Mandibuzz. Lots of Pokemon on this team I have used before. Blastoise, Terra Diplin with Steel and Fairy, and Terra Trapinch with Ground and Bug.
All right, let's talk about. Let's go through it.
I do like the Iron Moth for this team, but at the same time, it feels so similar to the Mega Diancie.
That was one of my first things I looked at. I was like, okay, you have
like,
2 mons. They're both at
very
110.
Stats, the exact same Spadef, and the exact same speed. Granted, they actually kind of they're both weak to water, both weak to ground. I will say the thing that will make this team annoying to fight is Pecharunt Mandibuzz.
I agree. That's one of the big things I was looking at this team. Also, I want to like So I want to quickly go over like a few of the pros before we like really deep dive into them because there's one big glaring issue with this team that I have, and I really want to talk about it like uphand. I'm also going to preface this team's fucking amazing, in my opinion. You've got a lot of good like offensive threats. Calm Mind Petron, Gigaton Zygarde, Mega Diancie, and Iron Moth just raw. Like they have really strong. You got Shell Smash, Blastoise. You've got great Terra captains, in my opinion. I think all three of these Pokemon can actually really abuse their Terra type. Even Trapinch. I'm not joking.
Trapinch is my go.
I'm not joking.
Trapinch has more kills than Goldengo.
Don't
Choice
underestimate
Band,
Trapinch.
Terra, Bug, first impression, and I will not say anything else. Like it's a really good revenge killer because it can like if it can isolate that Pokemon really easily. Mandibuzz Petron. All of Petron's weaknesses completely covered by Mandibuzz. Drownshield can be really annoying to deal with.
Spread status and flinch your whole team.
Mm-hmm.
Make it so much easier for Diancie and Moth to outspeed, which is like great.
You've got really good pivot tools. You've got Blastoise Flip Turn. You've got Petron Parting Shot. You've got 3 U-turns, although one is an Iron Moth. So like, let's see how much of that gets used. You have some alright hazard options. Not the best, but not bad. And decent and
bounce, which basically gives you every hazard.
That is true, yeah. And then you have Defog and Spin on Mandibuzz Blastoise as your hazard move, which are both like happy to run those moves.
Yeah, you're gonna run.
Here's my issue with the team. I feel like this team every single week needs to bring Mandibuzz.
I think, yeah.
And that, like, it's the same issue I had with Talonflame on your team, Lex. Now, to be fair, like, similar to Talonflame, I think Mandibuzz happily sits onto every week on the team. It's happy to just be, like, a fat wall,
and, like
Toxic and Defog.
Is we said the same thing for my JDL team, and we still put my team first. And Mandibuzz.
And
I finished.
Remember, I said I thought this was. That's why I prefaced. I said this was a really good team. I'm looking. That's a nitpick. Again, when it's a really good team, that's a nitpick. There is a little jarring ice weaknesses, which could be an issue. Now you do have some good ice resist.
I think
you are not counting.
That is true. But you have 2 4x weaknesses. They both Terra though.
They both Terra out of it.
I think the ground one's more concerning. That was just me.
I agree.
Like, I don't think the ghost one's that bad when you have a Mandibuzz, as we talked about.
The ground,
but I think the ground one's pretty bad.
The really bad one, especially when one of your grass resists is going to be Terraing into Steel a lot.
And I think the main thing is that we keep talking about Mandibuzz. Every time a ground move gets clicked, most of the time that ground user will have a rock type move for Mandibuzz.
Now, to be fair, Mandibuzz is really good at eating one of those and like clicking the roost button or the U-turn button.
Yeah,
true. That's true.
Like that thing is so bulky. I really don't like that double 110 speed. It hurts. It's like it's not like those are both really good Pokemon, but it kind of like
it's weird though because they both work on the team.
Yeah,
it's really weird. I don't think you can drop either of them, but they just end up.
And like I've seen Moth now used in JDL without booster, and I lose a little. It doesn't feel as scary. I won't lie. I think Moth's a really good Scarfmon though.
Also, notably with Mega Diancie, it is one of the megas I don't think you have to Mega on the first turn every time. There are times where I think you want to keep the extra defense and like Fear Body on it.
Yeah, I think Megaing it's really good because and also honestly one thing that has to go underrated about Diancie, I think that pairs well like Mega Diancie with Iron Moth. You can run either or like physical or special Mega Diancie. I think on this.
Yes, that's a good point. You can run Diamond Storm on it really easily.
You can run Diamond Storm, Body Press, Play Rough.
Yeah, I do think this team is either that like I want to say S. This team is really good.
I can see this team either being above me in A or at bottom of S.
I don't think it's better than Will or Jack.
I agree, but do we agree with S then?
I think top A.
I think top
of
A.
A.
I think it's right above your team.
I do think
agree.
She's going to be getting a lot of wins, but how? Mandibuzz has a chip on its back. It seems like right here that we keep talking about.
I think Mandibuzz is very important for the team winning game. Like, yes, Diplin resists ground, but you it is a Terramon, and like Eviolite Diplin is very lovely.
I was gonna
And
say
I really-
it is possibly the best Eviolite user just because of Sticky Hold.
Hmm.
And in fact,
And I
that
do
its
think
defenses are
Jirachi-
already 81, 10, 80.
It's not
What
bad.
about Jirachi?
I was gonna say Jirachi and Moth. I feel like 80% of the time, one of the two is gonna be holding a Chuddy Scarf.
Yeah,
Or-
I think I can see it more on Moth than Jirachi because Jirachi kind of wants to like hazard like Paraflinch, and you can't really do that with Scarf.
Yeah, one thing I did mention is this is one of the few teams that does not have a mon above 120.
I mean, to be fair, like
cap at 115.
you have 115 on a Pokemon that can learn the Dragon Dance move.
and the E-Speed.
And the E-Speed.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Like I think it'll be fine.
Yeah.
A little more than others. Like I would love that 120, but I can like I'm satisfied with it on Psydog.
Moving on. Last team, we have Bacon. Bacon has Mega Pidgeot, Julia's favorite Pokemon.
If it had Focus Blast, it would be so good.
It's a fraud.
Yeah.
Tauros Aqua, Gouging Fire, Terra Articuno with Steel and Water, Nidoqueen, Metagross, Root Bonnet, and Terra Diancie with Grass and Fighting. This is another team I had a lot of help building, and I think this team is a lot of fun.
I think it's got some really
Interesting
good
team.
walls. It's got some really good beefy boys. So actually I did get around to like saying what I thought about this team. So first off, I think there's some parts that really work really well. I love Gouging Fire. I think you have some nice pivot tools, especially with Starmie and Articuno. I love the Terra Bonds. Great Terramons. They work really well.
The Terra points well.
I agree.
A team that picked up like 2 like mid-cost Terra captains.
Yeah, and I think they have really good Terra types. You have some really good bulk. You have really good Sweeper and Gouging Fire. Here's where my issues come in. And that also you have some really good hazard removal. You've got some really good hazard setters. You have 2 like game-winning sweepers, which I'd say are like Metagross and Gouging Fire, where like Weakness Policy, Agility, Metagross can probably win games. D-Dance, Scale Shot, Gouging Fire, and Gapehorn can probably win. Those are like what I see as like 2 win cons. Here's where my issues with the team come in. I think this team doesn't have like a primary special attacker. Now you're going to say, "Oh, Mega Pidgeot," but like Mega Pidgeot with its lack of like coverage moves really feels like a secondary one. And I see you hovering that Starmie. Starmie also feels like that backup one just because of it's got that like lower special attack. It does have really good coverage moves.
It can run specs so easily because it's got 150.
It can, yeah, it can, but like I feel like
guess what? It gets an analytic boost. You can't paralyze it.
Yeah.
It's got natural cure. Like if you bring it in on something that's like I can't stay in against this, you switch out and whatever comes in just dies to analytic.
that is true. However, it also depends if you click the right move because like if you're clicking Thunderbolt on the water type, and I think it's a better Life Orb on personally.
Yeah, Life Orb's great.
However, then I think it has to run Recover, which means it's losing move slot.
I think Articuno is great as a Terra captain. It loves
Yeah.
Defog. Mega Pidgeot has 2 moves, so it loves clicking Defog.
Yeah, so Mega Pidgeot actually has 3 moves, which are U-Turn, Hurricane, and Heat Wave, because that's the only coverage move it gets.
I was not considering U-Turn as a move. I was like it gets like 2 actual like moves that'll click to kill things.
Yes, Heat Wave is really good for it because it lets
Nidoqueen
it
is also
hit those.
a special attacker because of sheer force.
That is true. In that regard, I would honestly say Nidoqueen is the premier special attacker on this team.
Metagross can go special with Weakness Policy as well.
You're not doing that. You're not doing that.
Good.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. So the Tauros is odd here.
That's one of my big criticisms. I don't think Tauros fits on this team. I think it's here to like try and make the stat line look a little bit better by helping with that rock weakness.
I would like a fighting type on this team. I don't know if it's one.
I agree. So
Tauros
Aqua?
$12. There is.
Yeah.
You already have a fire.
Grab Cobalion for 11.
Valiant would be nice. That would like double help your rock weakness.
Yeah.
Also helping your flying weakness. Also
And your
helping your
fairy.
fairy weakness.
It's
And
got
also helping
rocks.
Your, wait, hang on. Wait. Oh my god.
Oh my god, that looks so much better.
And you have extra dollar.
Yeah, and it actually I think kind of helps speed. It keeps speed tiers about the same.
It's faster actually. It goes from 100 to 108.
Yeah, I think
And,
Cobalion
it's
is a
another Stealth
really
Rock.
good Stealth Rock Volt Switch. I think it's got T Wave as well. It does.
Yeah.
It gives you just a lot more utility. Bacon, pick up Cobalion.
It gets body press now. It gets actual body press.
Yeah, it's really good. I think it's a really good utility mon.
Yeah, holy shit, Bacon, grab this guy.
I will say,
with
the one
this
issue
team
with
goes
it,
like A tier. Maybe.
I don't
Although
know
this
if I
does
go
make
that
ground
far.
weakness scary.
I was about to say that you've got 5 ground weeks and 4 fairy weeks, or 4 fire weeks. Sorry.
Yes, but you also have a gouging fire.
That is true.
This team just feels so awkward.
I agree. It feels awkward to pilot.
I think it's a fun team.
Because it's fun, but like here's my biggest issue. None of your like primary threats are like that fast.
Yeah.
And that's the part like
Cobalion clicks T-Wave.
It does, and that would absolutely help.
But
like I'm talking about how it. I'm talking about how it currently is.
Yeah.
In its current position, none of the Pokemon that like I see as the win cons are like are really like reliable to like get in and immediately threaten. I think they need a little bit of wiggle. Now you do have great pivots to help get to there, but like I think this team's biggest issue is you don't have that like fast immediate threat.
Is this bottom B, do we think?
I can get behind this. I had this C tier.
I think it's better than Skye's team. I think Skye's team is top of C.
100%.
I think this team is a B tier team. This is a
I
team
agree.
that kind of depends on how you play it.
I'd say bottom of B tier. 100%. I can get behind that. Maggie, what are your thoughts? Maggie's not here, or never mind. Maggie's here.
Sorry, I was sorting something in the background. We're saying about B tier, was it?
Bottom of B tier.
Bottom of B, but we're also saying that like if this team picks up Cobalion, it probably goes to like mid or top B.
Because it's like sure that ground is nice, but like you have some. I mean, I guess the biggest thing though is like because Articuno's gonna be like Terra. It might be probably Terra stealing a lot, which could be not good for the ground, even worse for growings. But like, you're also maybe Terra grassing Diancie, which would also help it. So
yeah, I like.
It depends on the matchups.
I use Terra grass Diancie a lot when I use it.
I know, and I think it's really good. I think it's really good. Again, it stops that earthquake and that hydro pump button from hitting you harder.
And you have Terra fighting if you want this thing to be more offensive.
No, I think Cobalion would really help this team.
I think this is fine in low B. I don't think Cobalion's a perfect pickup. I know Cobalion always looks appealing, but like in the use cases, it sort of feels like a fraud at times.
I think it gets body press now though, which I think is going to be really nice off that 108 defense rather than like.
Oh, it's higher than 108 defense.
It's 129 defense and it's 108 speed, 90 attack. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Like it can actually
I
do
think
damage now with body press.
You can just run it specially. It's not attacking. Like it's not the greatest. You need to set up if you want to use it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, it gets Calm Mind. It gets.
I think of this as a Latias, but like with utility and stuff. It's fast.
It gets Calm Mind. It gets. Does it get Sword Stance?
Yes, it does.
So moving on, second to last team, we have Kevin's team. Kevin has made a couple changes. I like the changes, as we'll get into them. He's got Terra Aerodax.
This team's fun.
With Flying and Ground, Mega Absol, Ogerpon, Hearthflame, Cryogonal, Sandy Shocks, Archaladon, Metacham, Sylveon, Weezing, and Terra Clawitzer. So Kevin went for two very offensive Terras.
I
Mons that will nuke you.
will say, immediate issue. Clauser is kind of like a one and done kind of nuke. It doesn't have the survivability.
Yeah, you could scarf it though.
Scarf it with its 59
So
speed.
59.
Scarf it. Hey, it outspeeds a couple things.
Yeah, outspeed those space 70s and maybe some 80s.
I do like the arrow. I think the Terra arrow.
I agree.
Really necessary.
Terra arrow is
Otherwise,
phenomenal.
the team was capping at 115, and just like for instance, dies to a Valiant. Now,
Here's the other thing. Arrow's kind of like a good like suicide lead as well.
Yeah.
In some regards.
You have an Ogre-Con Hearthflame.
Yeah, like the classic Gen 4 days.
Yeah.
You got a Sandy Shocks, which is really nice here. I don't think Metacham is that bad, like for its price. I can do.
I think it's good. I don't know if I like it on the team though. And
it helps with the range weakness.
It does, yeah.
You have Sylveon, which is like one of the premier fairies in this format.
Sylveon is so good. Sylveon is a really fucking good Pokemon.
Yeah. This team has lots of hazards. Your hazard removal is triagonal.
I was about to say, like, that's one of my issues with this team is the hazard removal is iffy. This is a very offensive team. You have really good offensive threats. D-Dance Arrow, Mega Absol, Hearthflame, Sandy Shocks, Arcaludon, and even Calm Mind Sylveon, and like Clauser, as we say, can be that nuke. You have some actually really good like bulky mons. Bulky Sylveon, nothing to fuck with. Arcaludon and and Weezing are also really good like physical sinks. Like especially with stamina, Arcaludon's just great at it. My biggest issue, is that Ghost Tab. Like Mega Absol, not really bulky
Mega Absol
in the
is not
slightest.
Is not a mon that is surviving a hit.
It's like when we talked about what was the Pokemon? Whose team was it that had like the fake ground resist? I think.
Cam's team.
Oh, Cam's team. Yeah, those aren't like Lokix is not a real ground resist. Absol is not a real ghost resist, and that is a big issue for this team. Look at let's say
I think wishing back to some of these mons, like Archaludon, is really funny.
Oh my god, that's terrifying. I would love a normal type on this team. I think.
Yeah, like a normal spinner, like a Spinda that is on the board. I think this team would really love a Spinda.
No.
If it was in the format, a Komala would be lovely here.
Actually, unironically though, yeah.
Unfortunately,
don't disrespect Komala.
I love Komala. Komala's my goat.
Yeah. No, there's some lovely utility on this team. You got some good knockoffers. You've got really nice pivots. It's really not really. Now that I say that.
This team is kind of weird. It kind of fits into the. I know Kevin got sniped a lot, so Kevin had a lot of changes. It's definitely a team that feels like it. I think Kevin got sniped 7 times during the draft.
Oh my god, 007. 0 confirmed picks, 0 plans, 7 snipes.
Oh, I feel like this is another B tier team, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I would put it between you and Brady.
Is this team better than mine?
It does have I think it's very.
Yeah.
It's very interesting, but like, is it a challenge to be running power most weeks?
I don't like power about Caledon. I think Assault Vest is should be our Caledon's go-to move. But maybe I say that from seeing it on rain teams, maybe not without rain, maybe not. Which you do have Rain Dance Cryogonal.
Yeah.
This team
I think
like the threat. This team does have some of the mons that go, oh shit, those are things that can just kill me. So
yeah, so I have this bottom of my A tier.
I think this team is worse than Brady's.
Worse than Brady's. Yeah, the more I look at it, it's there's teams where it's the more you look at it, there's the less you like it.
Yeah.
This is kind of one of those. Whereas Skye's was the opposite, where it's grown on me the more I look at it. I can agree.
Is it
Battle of the Arrows. Yeah, this. Sorry, Maggie, you're going down one spot, I think.
I don't care.
Yeah,
Like,
I think this
have
is
a
below
Mega
you, Lex.
Arrow, and I feel like God, yeah, this team doesn't do anything to a Mega Arrow.
I don't know. Scarf.
I guess Scarf Arrow
Sandy
or
Shocks
Scarf, yeah,
can
Scarf
just
Shock.
Or just Flash Cannon from Archaludon.
Yeah,
yeah, all of those will threaten Arrow.
like obviously it's like it's my
But if you
team,
But
get
no.
D-Dance off,
like, I like my
Arrow just
team.
kills.
So I'm just curious on like
I-
your guys' opinions of it versus me.
No, the more I look at it, like this, like I don't know, like I think it has like, because here's the thing, is like a lot of it does require a lot of setup. I feel.
Yeah,
Uh,
I mean, you
Mega
have
Absol's
Arrow.
nice.
Arrow can like if it's running like Scarf, it can just start clicking like Rockhead, head smashing the things.
It doesn't get head smash.
Is it not?
It doesn't get head smash.
Oh, my poor
Stone
boy.
Edge is the best thing it gets.
Oh my poor boy.
Yeah, the
Like,
only,
it
like,
has nothing to abuse that Rockhead with, other than
Double
like
Edge.
Double Edge.
Terra Normal Double Edge, Kevin, get on it.
Ogrefon is good. Ogrefon can start coming in.
Ogrefon's really good. Yeah. Like a Trailblaze, like honestly, even just like a Trailblaze, and that thing can run away with games.
Yeah.
It doesn't even need an SD.
Like,
SD
it might
is
just be
good on it,
biased because it's my team and like I kind of know what my team can do, but I feel like my team is better. I'm curious on like what everyone else thinks before we like put that rating in.
It's kinda like, 'cause, I don't know. It's like I feel like this team has some like really good innate bulk as well. Like it hits hard, but like then it has some stuff that can like switch in and just like take the hits.
Okay, but also
honestly,
I have Ferrothorn Slow.
The big hard.
Okay, yeah, good point. Okay, yeah, it's
It's
below
like-
you.
It honestly slightly feels so even that either could be ahead of the other in my eyes.
Yeah, that's why I think putting them next to each other is like a very like safe
I don't
place.
think
and, like
I don't
correct.
think it's.
I
Really,
would
objectively,
I
like,
would
this team
edge
is
out
better than the other.
Lex as being over though.
And finally,
So
I believe the last team to make changes, or I don't know, there's a couple teams that made changes recently. The first pick team, Austin. Austin
Yeah.
has Valiant, Superior, Walking Wake, Terra Basculin with Water and Ice, Excadrill, Bombardier, Skeletors, Electros, and Terra Gigalith with Fighting and Flying.
what changes did he make recently?
So
So,
he picked up Walking
he
Wake
wa-
and Basculin, and he dropped.
See. Oh yeah, he
picked up
dropped
Bombardier. He
2
dropped
water
Torpedo.
types.
Yeah, so he had 3 water types, right? He knew this from the whole plan when he had 3 water types. He was like, all 3 of the water types that he had actually worked together perfectly fine, but it was just questionable on the amount of water types he had.
It's like, hey, that's a little bit too much water, buddy.
Yeah.
But I had. Sorry, I was gonna say I advised him on making.
You go.
You go. Okay. I was gonna say I advised him on making some like just changes because I think when I saw he was like, I really want to try Walking Wake. Like building this in just gives him 3 huge threats. I felt like with Valiant, Walking Wake, and Excadrill. I said prepping for that is just not gonna be fun. I think his speed tiers are excellent, and Walking Wake or Superior, even just Scarf is gonna be outspeeding most things in the game. I thought Bombardier would be fun. He didn't really want to Terra it. I think Bombardier with a sand team's always fun to play with. And yeah, he really wanted a Gigalith defensive pair types, which I respect. He loses out on his Sandstorm like drops if he Terras. But I think he wants rock for like body press, obviously, and like flying. You just resist your grounds at the end of the day.
Yeah, actually, I didn't think about the fact that you lose the rock weaknesses. That makes me like that game better less.
So yeah,
Is
one
there
thing
a
that
world
honestly
where
I
you do,
actually like
Bombardier or Electros. I actually like the idea of like Terra Rock Bombardier.
Yes. I wanted him to go for it, but he's just saying that he thinks Terra Gigalith with.
I don't like Terra Gigalith.
I was not a big fan of it, but he
So
thinks it's gonna be really good.
here's one of the weird things about Gigalith, and so Gigalith's a rock type, right? And it gets Sandstream. Smooth Rock's allowed, right?
Yes, Smooth Rock is allowed.
Okay, I'm gonna be honest though. I think Smooth Rock on Gigalith is kind of shit because there's a way better item for it. Yes! That's exactly what you want on Gigalith, is you want an Assault Vest. It's so good!
I think he's not just thinking about extra drill with sand. He was saying that sometimes he's not going to be relying Gigalith for sand because Astro can just press Rapid Spin
Yeah,
nowadays.
but
That's
also
true.
like
But, like,
I like the idea of Terra Rock Bombardier because it gets this Spadef raise, which makes it like bulkier, and you get Rocky Payload, so you're basically getting like a double stab boost on it.
Yes.
yeah. Rocky Payload, Terra Rock in Sand, that is like a what? Like a 2.5 times boost, I think? Maybe.
funny.
No.
Rock does Sandstorm doesn't boost the damage Rock moves, so you're just getting.
I thought it did.
No, it's just the Spadef thing. Because Hail, I don't think, or Snow doesn't increase Ice type damage either.
Oh my god, it does. Wait, it does. Wait, does Snow not increase damage from Ice type moves?
I think it's just the defense.
I thought it.
Nope.
Why?
It's only Sun and
Oh
Rain
my
that
god.
the, damage boost.
It feels
But you're
so
still getting
bad.
Rocky Payload plus stab, like on it. So I think I
Yeah.
like that, and you can also do Terra Electros, even just keeping it electric, just so it actually can do damage. Like it's a mon that feels
Yeah.
it just never does enough.
It feels like
I
Coil Cells would be
do-
a lot better.
I do think Basculin just with adaptability water will just be
Oh,
killing things.
I love.
Yeah.
It's it's gonna go crazy.
I'll
He
have a
almost I'll
Valiant.
say
It's a
this.
Valiant. It's like the best fairy in the format. That's
I think I will
He almost
say.
did rock for head smash. I thought that would be funny.
Yeah, I will say with Valiant, I think Valiant not having access to the booster energy does hurt it a little bit.
I think Serp's
I do
also
think
better.
it's
Serp is really nice. I like Serp. You don't have a lot of hazard removal or hazards.
That sure is no spikes.
No spikes, no T spikes, no web. I mean, no web for like what is it? But like,
I feel like
I
you
don't.
want a bit more chip for like Valiant and Wake and like especially Excadrill. To
Well, you have
You do have Sandstorm damage for
you
that.
have
in that regard.
Serp. You have Skeledirge. I think like damage output is one of the best teams.
Yeah, I'll be honest.
So many
though,
threats on this team.
So I'm not super sold on Wake without Sun, but I've not seen Wake without Sun, so maybe I could be wrong. But I feel like it
still
it
125,
really like
109. You can give it Scarf.
that is true. Yeah,
Give it
like Lek.
eject button. Or eject
I think the biggest issue with Scarf on Wake is like I feel like Wake has always been a Pokemon where it's like being locked into the wrong being locked into something. It's kind of easy to exploit. Like
Yeah, I know Lex used it really well, and she didn't even bring Sun half the time. She had Wake,
I didn't
and
bring
still
Wake.
got a
I
lot of
didn't
kills
bring-
with
I
it.
only brought Sun to about half my games when I used Wake, and Wake was still the best thing on my team.
Yeah, it was better than your gouging. I remember at the time, and like I really do think Valiant, Wake, and Excadrill all on the same team is just crazy to me. Like damage output as a
I
set.
think Skeledirge is really nice. Kind of and like really scary on this. Not scary, but like really good on this team.
Dirge is nice because like it makes it so your opponent can't set up on you at all because he's just unaware and he sits in front of things. You get to click.
I
below.
wish this team had a grounded poison.
Yeah, but I also don't know what you like. This team feels really like tight knit. Like this team feels like there's not much you can draw. I think any changes you make to this team outside of like changing the Terra types or changing the Terras from Gigalith will make this team worse.
I think that's the issue with like a lot of the 9 mod teams though.
Yeah, it's like they're very interlocked. I do like this team a lot. I think this is an A tier team.
I'd agree.
I think
this team is very fun.
I think the Terra change from Gigalith to Electros plus Bombardier is like
I think
I would make.
I was just like I don't like we have a lot of teams at like 120 speed and like this caps out at 160. Like we have talked about like Scarf.
Yeah, but if you're
And we do have Rush Excadrill though.
You do have Sand Rush.
Yeah, you have
Excadrill.
Sand Rush.
And also, like, if you can't booster your Valiant, you could just Scarf it.
You do have Vacuum Wave too for priority.
And Sucker Punch on Bird. Basculin gets adaptability, Terra Water, Aqua Jet.
It's gonna be nuking things. Jeez.
Also, you can
So
slow things
it's
down because you have Serp with Glare.
You
So
do have
the-
Glare. That is a like scummy move.
you have White Stripe is banned. Is that the one that can hold Eviolite, right?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. But still, it's gonna be nuking stuff.
It's White Stripe is specifically banned because it's the Gen 8 one technically. It's like how last season actually only the White Stripe was allowed.
Isn't it?
What are Julia? Can you look up the other teams in A tier? I want to see where this compares because I do like this team a lot.
Yeah, we've got me in order from lowest to highest, or highest to lowest. Hannah, me, Gus, Bushie.
This is above Bushie.
I don't think it's above Gus's.
Uh,
Yeah, they're very similar teams, but they have.
I like it
actual
more than
stats.
I like it more, but that's because I helped build it. So
Yeah.
I'm not
I
gonna.
just I think a lot
Here's the
of
thing with Austin.
so let me put it
I
this
think if
way.
you change
I
the
think
eras, it will be above Gus.
I think the threats on Gus's team are a lot more threatening, in my opinion. Like we're talking about like Kiram Annihilate versus like the ones on this team. I feel like could be a lot more threatening.
I would be more scared of Kiram Annihilate than non-booster Valiant, non-booster Wake with no sun.
Yeah, especially with, like the tools like around those two as well.
Because essentially, you're fighting two Pokemon with abilities versus two Pokemon with no abilities. Like these ones are just on
And, like-
raw stats.
And like if we like look at how that team matches up versus like this one, I feel like Gus has some like Pokemon that have like really good matchups to this team, like Terra Poison, Champao, if that is what he goes for. I feel like looks really nice. Swellow, like Spec Swellow looks pretty good into this team, or even just like Swellow in general feels really good versus this team.
Yeah, I think
Except for,
that's
like,
above
Gigalith.
Austin, but I think if Austin changes the Terras, I think it's closer.
Okay. So and then we have that I guess concludes our tier list. Are you ready to hear our list then?
Yeah, let's read it back and we'll see how it feels again. Do you want to go bottom to top? Let's go bottom to top.
Let's go. I agree. Go bottom top. In D tier, we have Cam.
Oh no.
And even then, I feel like this team could be bottom C, but I do think there are like just the
There's too many issues.
Not
There's-
again.
Lex, look at the ground types
God.
again.
yeah.
Not again.
There's
Poor
not, like
Cam.
there's no fairy type. There's no electric. There's no darks. There's 3 darks. Sorry.
It's better
There's no
than
dragon
Frost's
type.
Sky's team from last season.
Oh, I love the
Like,
Terrakion. Oh, it's
me and
D tiers.
me and
Oh,
Lex still
God.
firmly believe that this team could take a game.
Yeah, which I think
Yeah,
bumps
yes.
it out of D tier criteria because that was our criteria for last season. Was like we looked at Frost's team and we're like, how does this team win a game?
Well, we saw how it could win games. It had like
After it made 5
Typhlosion and stuff.
changes,
We saw it before then.
the team did
So
not
that's
win until
again,
it made a
Cam.
change.
Yeah, that is our Dear T team. In C tier, we have
This team
Parker,
could win.
then Nate, then Skye.
Yeah, I do agree that like I think Parker's team.
I think too many bugs. 2 bugs is too many bugs.
too many bugs. Get the
It's
get the
bugging you,
raid.
right?
Yes. Nate's team. Just show Brady the hazard removal.
Is it? You have 12 mons in Aldi Braviary. I'm sorry for being gone for that long, but like everything else, like it looks. Ugh. Like
I don't like Terra
comparing
Electric on Musharna either.
Realize that.
I think Scrafty's
These two
kind
are
of useless. Yeah, those
I'm
two are
com-
like too close in speed.
I'm comparing this to Maggie's team, like it feels so off put compared to hers.
Well, this is only 11 mons, not 12.
Well,
No,
they're
this is
both
12.
11.
Oh wait, yeah.
Yeah.
No, this.
Or this is 11.
Oh wait, there's no
Both
12 months. Sorry, yeah. But yeah, you know you're right. Yeah, for 11 months.
These are the only like 11 teams.
Then we have Skye.
I will say Megametric at 9 points is really low. But sorry.
Sky's team is good. There's just a couple like notable like things where you don't have a ton of resistances to.
Ground type.
Yeah, this is like a low resistance team. It feels like.
Yeah. Then we have in B tier, Bacon.
Another team where I think you just grab Cobalion and this team looks significantly better. I don't think this team is bad.
Kind of, it has issues, but like, yeah. Then we have Maggie. There feels like a jump up there.
A team that's very fair.
This is Mr. Playfair, the team.
Honestly,
Then we have Kevin.
Do we put Bacon down in C, like top of C?
I think so. I think we do.
Like just comparing it to
Just
like
because.
so, actually, no, I don't think.
No,
Bacon's that bad. I think this is still like.
Like I think there's just a massive like spike in power that like validates the tier shift.
Oh
Okay.
no, this team still has a gouging fire. I think it has to be bottom B.
Yeah,
there's
okay, yeah.
There's quite literally a gouging fire on here.
There's
Also, I think
Dayporn.
this is possibly like the best two era captains, like for a team that's picked multiple.
Hey, put some respect on Dugong.
Yeah, I mean, your team is like very fair. Like your team is the B team of all time.
Yeah. Then we have Kevin.
I'm out here playing Blue Eyes ready to brick.
Yeah. Then we have Lex.
Yeah, I mean, like I feel Kevin's team and my team are very similar. We have a lot of the same like kind of issues. Just similar teams.
Then we have Brady.
Very solid team. Just a lot
Fun.
of like. I think it's a good team.
Yeah.
I think the other ones are just like the teams above it are just scarier.
Moving on to A tier, we have Bushie. Followed by
Similar
Oz.
to Maggie's team, where it's like it's kind of boring, but this one has like more things that could just outright just make you go, "Oh shit, I lose."
Then we have Austin.
Scary.
Scary.
Then we have
scary
Gus.
teams got threats, and then I'm gonna say the same thing. Scary teams just got threats.
Yeah, this team definitely feels a lot bulkier. Then we have myself. Right below Gus.
Yeah, this is another team that like kind of has that fairness, but this team feels the most well-rounded of the fairness teams. Like this team feels like really good still.
Then we have Hannah rounding out A tier.
I think Hannah's team is like compared to your team. I think Hannah's team has higher highs, but also like a few lower lows.
We look forward to seeing Mandibuzz every week. And then lastly, in S tier, we have Will.
This is a Will team and a half.
It is a Will team. This team is terrifying.
Yeah, he drafts
I
Great
said
Touch for
this
the
team
like
to Lana,
20th time.
And Lada's reaction to this team was, no one should have the points to draft those mons.
Yeah. I'll be honest, like, how does he get Great Tusk in every league like he plays in? Does he just I don't know how he enjoys running that mon every week.
And lastly, in first place, overall, we have Jack.
How does this make you feel, Julia, that Jack stole your top two and is now the number
It
one?
is what it is. I think I got a great top two instead with Jolteon, Mario, and Ogerpon.
Like, this team does
Yeah, I guess.
this, but also like it's just so good. This team is just so good. Like Tentacruel, like yeah, you're Ice Weak. God, Tentacruel just comes in on every single ice move ever.
Unless it's physical, but
Unless it's physical, but then it misses.
Ice Punch.
You're right.
But
yeah, don't underestimate Ice Punch. That shit can freeze you.
But I still feel happy. I think there's a lot of really
I didn't even know this team had a crown. Holy crap.
yeah, this team was a crown too. Which
yeah.
it's got like two
Am
losses.
I guess that concludes our tier list and rankings. Okay, Lex, did you make sure to record everyone's audio this time?